Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is us, Dragon's Greed Gaming, sporting a shiny new logo for you tonight. We're finally, I think all of our socials are finally updated, so behold, courtesy of our good friend CJ over on our Sins and Consequences show. Anyway, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. As always, stop by all of our socials for all that good stuff. Spreaker, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Help us grow the channel, help us praise the algorithm, and leave us those reviews to make us more popular. And of course, as always, if you are a fan of the show and you want to support us a little bit more, check us out over on our Patreon, where you can throw some money in the Dragon's Hoard. Get yourself access to all sorts of cool little extras here and there. So, we'll keep that nice and short tonight. Unfortunately, as you can see, we are down Scaarr tonight. He got roped into having to go to his sister-in-law's birthday party last minute, which he was not too pleased about. So, believe me, listeners, he would rather be here, as we would rather have him here as well, but unfortunately that is not the case. There's a possibility he'll join, but seeing as the festivities didn't start until like about the time we start recording, it's unlikely. So, kind of sucks, but that's where we're at. So, we'll have to proceed on without our dad jokes for the night. So, it's a sad day, but we must continue. The show must go on, as they say. So, with that in mind, we'll hear from our other three Marines who are here to, well, see what happens next. Started off with our new squad leader, Corporal Mike Tagar, played by Eric.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Yep, so it was a pretty uneventful week, but today, me and Amanda did a whiskey tasting where they did pairings with a donut shop nearby. So donuts and whiskey. Yeah. So tonight's Dr.
Right
Pepper is spiked with cherry pie moonshine.
Oh. How's it taste?
So pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, speaking of donuts, did you see Krispy Kreme is doing Ghostbusters donuts?
I saw that at Target today. They had a little Ghostbuster logo on them.
Yeah, they also have
Beetlejuice.
They have one of it's supposed to be the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Tonight, yeah, we'll be playing Tagar. First mission didn't go so well. We'll see how this plays out.
No one's dead, so there's that.
That's true. I'm gonna get everybody home.
Maybe. It's not over yet.
Yeah, Cruz might just get a knife to the throat.
Bro!
Wow. Wow.
Can't leave you alone with anybody.
Nope. All right. Well, next up we have our previous squad leader, Sergeant Gunther Schmidt, played by Adam. What's going on tonight, man?
Well, not much. Pretty uneventful week, aside from, being luckily not held up at on the freeway for 6 hours because of a shooting. And then watched Alien Resurrection last night.
I'm
Forgot
sorry.
how god-awful ugly that fucking xenomorph is at the end.
It really is.
It's real bad.
The best part about... Well, there's a couple best parts, but the good things about that movie are Sigourney Weaver, Ron Perlman, and Brad DeFore. That's really... If you just took all their scenes... This is kind of like Star Wars Episode 1. If you just made a, hour and a half recording of just all the Darth Maul scenes over and over, that's all you need to see.
With AI, we can probably create that.
We can make it better.
So we just need those scenes. It starts off with, Ripley getting cloned. Then we've got Brad Dourif trying to kiss the alien through the glass. Then we got Rod Perlman showing up. And then, the movie's over. And that's pretty much it. It's
That's all you need.
6 scenes. That's all you need. So...
Well,
It's at a film festival. It's not a full film. No.
Eric would be so... Or not Eric. Adam would be so
Adam.
upset to hear this. He thinks Alien Resurrection is the best film. Which is mind-boggling. Not to mention wrong. But...
Has he seen the other films?
I mean, he likes the band Ghost, so I really can't question his judgment when it comes to what's good and bad in life. So
Well, I think we have an explanation for this, right? He's the one that likes Pepsi, right?
no, that's Aaron. No, he likes
Damn it.
Aaron likes RC Cola.
Yeah,
and he's from
Aaron-
Canada, so he can get away with being weird.
We
Okay,
give that
okay.
pass to him. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
We're playing Sergeant Schmidt. Luckily everyone's crippling away out of this, but well, we'll see.
It was
We'll
rough
see how
last
things-
week. Yep.
Mm.
Those commandos don't fuck around.
Yeah, your rolls were just too good, actually.
They weren't good enough. No
Yeah.
one's dead. Sean, tell us about Private.
That's right. They'll
Is
never
it
forget my
Alexander?
name.
Private Alex
Alexander
Cruz?
Cruz. Alexander, yeah. But he uses Alex for short.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Private Cruz is suffering from his first mission back. Now, another critical injury. Knocked out teeth. He was hit by a flamethrower, I think, or some kind of like firebomb.
Oh, yeah,
So-
someone threw a firebomb that went off.
Yeah, and so just blasted his teeth out. Well, hopefully we'll say it's sort of like the lower ones, not the front ones. You know, so he's still got like a nice smile. Now he's going to be talking weird for a few months.
Oh no, there's definitely at least one of your front teeth got knocked
No.
out. Hence the negative to your manipulation rolls, right?
I wonder where he got the firebomb idea.
Who threw a firebomb? It certainly wasn't Alexander Cruz.
Didn't you
Definitely
find one first?
No,
No,
so that's
I
your-
threw it first.
Yeah,
Who?
Adam threw. And I threw a shot grenade that we brought.
Oh,
because we
that's
thought we
right.
might have to
That was your
disable
magic thing.
Stevie's.
To be fair, the Grenadiers did have a couple different types of ammunition loaded.
Right.
Because they're prepared for multiple situations. And
Sure.
when they realized that the nerve gas wasn't going to do the trick, they said, well, we'll just light them on fire. That usually
Yeah,
kills
'cause, you know,
everything.
Bullets and flamethrowers just
Yeah.
don't affect this
Yeah.
goddamn suit.
Hey man, bring a multitude of weapons like a real squad, and then you'd be prepared too. I'm all I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
you know?
that's fair. That's fair.
I mean,
Or
we-
just
I coulda-
just carry them all on your person.
I could have had all 6 roll up with flamethrowers and grenade launchers, but that would be wrong.
Should've
Okay,
just
so
brought 6 guys with smart guns and just shredded them.
yeah, there's 1 rifleman and 6 heavy machine gunners in the squad. We do this
Perfect
opposite. Yep.
There is no way this squad fails at any mission that requires them to pull the trigger. Okay, a predator.
Yep.
All missions require pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
That's the point, Eric.
Fine, we just have Tagar in the front with the shield, and the rest of us will have RPGs, and it'll be fine.
Oh,
true.
I like that idea.
That's a squad makeup I can get behind. Yep.
Yeah, it's like baby's first Warhammer army.
Baby's first RPGs. Yeah, baby's first squad. Okay,
Yeah.
can I take 4 flamethrowers and a power fist? No, Timmy,
No.
you can't.
2 power fists, 2 plasma guns, and the power sword on the sergeant.
Oh, is
Again,
this
no.
a Death Guard squad we're building? Jesus Christ, every guy can have a different weapon. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
So stupid.
So
Anyway,
yes, I will be playing Cruz, unless he is out of commission for the next 2 days, because that's how long it takes. In which case, if I can't play him, then it's back to Johnson again, I guess.
oh, you can still play with broken teeth. That's fine. And that's actually the same. O'Connell got a critical as well. He got the same critical you did.
Oh, that's
So
I
right.
thought his got negated because he couldn't move into the spot.
That's right. He did something to
Oh.
prevent it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. I think he
Or you
used
want
a
to
story
use a
point.
story point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
So it never happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were going to be toothless brothers, but now it's just me.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So
Well,
Fine.
I'm the Great Unclean One, your host, your game mother, and I today picked up the Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl team and accessories, and I am fucking stoked about that. I'm going to try to get them ready for this tournament I'm supposed to play in next month. So Matt and I are actually going to hobby next week and try to build and paint Blood Bowl models. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
And I'm hoping
And then-
to maybe start streaming stuff, hobby stuff.
the week after that is Board Game Day?
It is.
27. Ooh,
Yeah, we're already halfway through the month, man. Can you believe it?
crazy.
Goes by fast, man. Other than that, I've been playing the Silent Hill 2 remake, which so far has been incredible. Not gonna lie, so far they have hit it out of the park. It's got some of the best sound design I've ever heard in a video game. And the amount of detail in the environments, I would say, is on par with The Last of Us.
Oh, wow.
Matt and I were just... Because I've been streaming every night on our Discord, and Matt's been jumping in every now and then. And we were just looking around this one room in a hospital I found. And, like, the amount of assets in this one room was insane. We're like, dude, like, some guy had to make this and then place all of these things. And it was like shelves of books and records and shit like that. And it wasn't like, oh, these 6 books are clearly copy and pasted over and over. It was like, it was insane, dude. And, dude, the opening scene, like, I'm not gonna lie.
Spoilers.
No spoilers. But, like,
okay.
I got a little emotional because I was like, I was taken back 20 years to the original Silent Hill 2. I'm like, it's like an old friend has come back. It was so good. It was so good. So
Nice. Never played a Silent Hill, so I was waiting for this remake.
oh, dude, man, I'd say I'm maybe close to halfway through right now. Just been exploring every nook and cranny, and it's good. They've added stuff to it, but they've still kept the original game, and so far, very, very good. So
Nice.
I'll have a full report on your desk Monday morning.
I expect it.
Intrepid. Yep. And then Scaarr and I have been doing some DBD, playing a little Space Marine here and there when I can, and hoping to get into the hobbying very soon. But it's a busy month. We've got a lot going on, so...
Speaking of DBD, Supermassive, the company that does like Until Dawn, they released the DBD version of their Until Dawn like story like last month.
The casting of Frank Stone.
Yeah, I didn't even know that happened until I went onto the store today. I was like, oh, check what's out.
Yeah.
There was like no marketing for that. What happened?
Oh, I've seen some marketing for it. Maybe this is because I'm part of a bunch of DVD communities, probably.
Maybe.
But,
yeah, shit.
Yeah. And then there's apparently a remaster of Until Dawn. Where did that come from?
I don't know why they made it.
Yeah, I don't...
Didn't need it.
I've heard
It's not that old.
I've heard they've added additional content, though. I've heard they've added
Okay.
some new endings. So, I'm down.
If I'm not gonna pay full price for it, but if it's like $20, maybe I'll check it out.
I would, just so we can have more games like that.
I really like the games they make. So
yeah. Anyway, let's dive in here, folks. We're playing in our Alien Frontier War campaign. Tonight is episode 18. If you can believe it. I noticed if I put the notes over here, it doesn't blind my screen as bad as if I put it here. Look at that. Look at the difference.
it's a very big difference.
It's like a fucking strobe light going around the room. Or a copy machine. Look at that. Okay, I'm done. I'll stop fucking around. Okay, so last we left, you had been sent to a Weyland-Yutani network hub to retrieve a supposed top-secret classified message that was meant for the Colonial Marine Corps higher-ups. Somehow, it had been intercepted by this network hub, and you were sent in to retrieve it. You were told to get any physical copies off the base, delete any copies they had in storage, and find out if anyone had listened to this message or accessed it in any way, and if they had, to bring them into custody so they could be questioned as to exactly what they knew. You were given a little bit of, I guess, lip is the best way to put it, when you guys showed up unexpectedly. But they did eventually let you land on this little moon they have in this massive, massive hangar. You guys left Weaver and Herschel in the dropship while the 4 of you went into the base. You met the head of security, who then introduced you to the colonial administrator the corporate administrator from the company, one Sebastian Kirk, or Kirk Sebastian, I think was his name. And you... you had a little bit of disagreement with him. He really wasn't happy that you guys were there. He was making life difficult for you. But eventually, Tagar basically just intimidated him and told him to stand the fuck aside. And you finally got access to the communications room where you met the chief communications officer, and you started questioning and finding out, what was going on with this this message. It was during this time that Cruz noticed two of the communications specialists were acting a little shifty, and upon questioning them, it became clear they probably knew something about this message. One of them, a young black man named Franklin, last name was Franklin, seemed really nervous and kind of started to spill the beans. Whereas this other shifty white guy, I don't remember his name. I can't find it in my notes. Harms! How could I forget that? Harms. Was clearly, being shifty and hiding stuff. And eventually you discovered that the two of them had accessed the message to some capacity. You're going to take them into custody. This, of course, upset the rest of the workers and their crew chief there, who was not happy about this. It was at this point that the chief security officer, a man by the name of Arnaldo Alvarez, was getting a message from basically back at the security checkpoint. So he left you guys there with no escort of any sort, as what the corporate administrator wanted. And it was not too long after that the station was rocked by several explosions. And it was clear that another ship had tried to dock, and when they were not given immediate access, they started attacking the base. You then, at this point, figured out where the data was. You think you've gotten it all. You took these two guys into custody. And on your way out, you were trying to get through the security checkpoint, which was locked. And while this was happening, Weaver was explaining that they had basically blown open the roof to the hangar and were forcing their way into the base. While this was happening, you could hear gunshots and people screaming and panicking throughout the base, kind of back the way you came through the rotunda. And soon you were being attacked by a group of 6 commandos who were wearing white armor with black fatigues underneath, no squad markings, no names. And I want to stress, because there was a little confusion with the notes, there was no iconography indicating that they were actually Weyland-Yutani. But you're all assuming they're Weyland-Yutani because they look like what you would imagine Weyland-Yutani commandos are. But again, these are not the commandos in the ape suits. These are not like the anti-alien commandos. These are straight-up Special Forces commandos. And they proved it when they came in with a variety of weapons and just started opening fire. And it was a struggle for you guys. I believe you managed to take down 1 or 2 because of your godly hero, Corporal Tagar, taking down a guy from full health with his pistol, no less.
Literally the Primarch of our army.
Mm-hmm.
You were in the chest, one in the head.
Jesus.
It was chest, throat, then head.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's 4 shots, yep.
So, needless to say, the fight did not go well. O'Connell almost went down, and Cruz did go down and took a critical injury, and I believe Sergeant Schmidt was at 1 health at one point.
I went from to 1, back up to 3,
down to 1 again.
To 1.
Yeah, it was rough, and that fire damage was doing work. So, eventually, the commander of this commando squad came over the comms. You guys could tell that Weaver and Herschel were basically being attacked in the dropship, and then he said, "Give us the data, or I'm gonna kill these two." And so he showed up with the other half of his squad. So now in total, there were still 12, I think, commandos standing, or 11 standing. And he said, "Give us the data, or these two are dead." And he made it very clear this was not a negotiation, despite Tagar trying to get some more information out of this guy. But he left with a cryptic message, something along the lines of, "We know everything." And you guys handed over the data, and they took off. Not before shooting Franklin right in the head as they left. Harms, I believe, got killed in the explosion with the fire when one of the fire bombs went off. So he was already dead. So
he was right next to.
That's right, because he was handcuffed to O'Connell.
Handcuffed,
So he was dead. He was dead for sure. So, because I tell you, he doesn't have the tough talent and 7 health. I'll tell you that much.
Or armor.
So, yeah,
any armor or.
So.
Oh, what a terrible way to go.
So, needless to say, the squad is battered and bruised, but you are still alive. Weaver's been roughed up. Herschel's kind of helping her to her feet at this point. And you guys are standing there in this now empty hallway with the sounds of the dying fire behind you in the checkpoint and the murmur and shouts of the panic beginning to subside as it seems the assault on Denali Station has finally come to an end. So unless there's anything... Oh, and I did miss one thing. Very important. Secretly, Sergeant Schmidt attempted to make a copy of this message, which he did, and nobody noticed. However, during the escape to get out of the station, the squad came to a bit of a disagreement, and Cruz noticed that he was fucking around on the data pad that he had, and you snatched it from him, and you realized he had a copy of the data on there, which, I will point out, you guys still have that. I should say Schmidt still has that. The commandos did not get that.
Well, I tossed it to Corporal Tagar.
Okay. Well, so you guys have that because you guys gave them something else. So, despite his whatever he's doing behind the scenes, it seems to have worked out in your favor to some regards. So,
yeah, I'm giving you shifty eyes, but I'm like, okay.
You also had discovered that the data had been sent out to at least one recipient, which is bad because they did not want it to get out. But you weren't able to check at least to see who it might have gone out to. Both of them, Franklin and Harms, claim they didn't know, but they're both dead now too.
We'll never know. Yeah,
never know. So yeah, it wasn't a great mission, and that I think is where we will begin, unless there's anything that I need to, anything else I need to bring up or say. I think that was everything.
O'Connell was the one who put the fire out because Cruz was on fire actively.
That's right.
Like broken.
Yeah.
So
yep.
O'Connell was the one that did that.
Yeah,
so.
I think we got 3 or 4 story points burned last week too.
Yeah. Might have to switch. No offense, Tagar. My buddy might be O'Connell for a little bit. After he put me out. But we'll wait until he comes back. I don't want my buddy to not be here. You know.
You want to tell him to his face that you're no longer his buddy?
No, I want to tell him to his face that he is my buddy.
Oh,
O'Connell's the buddy.
That's right.
He didn't tell you how he put you out yet. He had to pee on you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I would have rather died. So okay, Tagar's still my buddy. So
wow,
we're good.
Wow, that escalated fast. Okay, so with that in mind, here we are. What would the 3 of you like to do at this point?
Well, I'm still at 0, so I probably can't do too much.
You can talk. I would assume between the group of them, they'll give you some first aid.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we checked on Weaver first.
Yeah.
And so I'm checking on Weaver, seeing how she's doing, asking Herschel how the ship was.
Yeah, so, and if once a turn passes, which is 10-15 minutes, you'll gain a point of health back anyway. So
okay.
Just assume you're kind of beat up right now, but eventually you can start moving around.
Yeah.
Herschel explains that they blew the back cargo door, the ramp door of the shuttle to get into the dropship. So he said as long as you guys have your suits, you should be fine. But he's like, we don't have a way to seal it right now. Like, it's basically just gonna be hanging off as we take off. They blew the magnetic locks or however it locks. So
how long would it take to repair? Or hold on. How long would it take to repair?
Are we capable of repairing it?
Maybe, but it'll definitely take time. And well, the whole hangar is depressurized at this point because of how they entered, so it'll be harder to make repairs in this atmosphere. It can still fly, and the cockpit is still pressurized, so that's not a problem for us. So,
Do we have enough air to make it back to the ship?
sorry, enough what?
Air. So our suits only have 4 air, so if we're...
Well, why don't you all make an air roll at this point? Because I think some exciting shit has happened. You've been down here long enough.
And nobody's suit tore, right? We ended up.
I don't think anybody had a suit breach and all that, to be honest.
Son of a bitch.
That sucks. It won't let me roll.
Yeah, me either.
The parachute?
Oh,
the parachute?
Fuck me.
Alright.
I
Tagar's...
laughed at you.
Look at that,
Sergeant
Tagar killed the
Schmidt,
guy.
but
He's doing fine. Breathing exercises.
To be fair, I was on fire.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I can't edit it, so I just gotta remember it.
I think it auto-edits it for you in your inventory.
It did for mine.
Mine's
When
still
Really? Shit. When I hit the air, I rolled those 2 fails and it went down from 4 to 2. Okay.
Weird.
Yeah.
Do you have the
Yeah, it's,
compression suit active? I don't know.
Yep.
it's equipped.
on.
Weird.
That's weird.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I can edit it.
You know, sometimes even Foundry makes mistake, and that's okay, Foundry, because we love you for all the other things you do well, unlike Roll.
How beat up is Weaver?
Basically, it looks like she's just been kind of roughed up. You know, she's obviously been punched and or rifle butted. There's some blood coming down the side of her mouth. You know, she's got a black eye. Like the beginning of an interrogation scene. You know, it didn't get too out of hand.
Okay.
So she can stand, and Herschel, helps her to her feet, but she looks pissed more than anything. Like when he helps her up, she kind of once he gets her on her feet, she kind of pushes him away, and she can tell she's more pissed than anything.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Herschel then if he can take a look at. Herschel, can you take a look at Cruz? He's pretty beat up over there. We need to get him back to the ship.
Cruz is still. He'll be fine. He'll. No problem. He says, of course. He will attempt a medical aid, but this is not his specialty.
I do have a med kit.
Nope, that was private. He has no successes. He says,
I tried.
I think we're better off just getting back to the ship, Corporal.
It's okay. I forgive you.
He smiles and he says, unfortunately, dentistry is not my specialty.
Yeah.
But he, once you're conscious, he does kind of help you. At least gets you into a sitting position with your back against a wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'd probably grab a fire extinguisher and put out the rest of the fire so it doesn't spread to anything else,
Just occasionally sprays me. Just
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, make sure.
All right. I'm gonna tell O'Connell to help Cruz to the ship. Go get the ship ready. Schmidt, you stick with Sergeant Schmidt. You stick with me, and I want to check the security office and see if there's anybody still alive in there. Who's gonna run the show, or...
Okay, well, I'll do my best O'Connell impersonation. You got it, Corporal. Yeah, he'll get you over his arm.
Is Alvarez still alive?
I wasn't really rolling for that, so we're just going to leave it up to some rolls here, because in theory those guys would have probably been fighting back. They have pistols, but...
Yeah, but with Marines there, they probably would have just run to a safe position. They should be alive.
I drew the fire to me, so...
Our king, Corporal Tagar.
Should we leave this to a high or low roll?
Yeah, That room that we were all in got a bunch of fucking bombs going on.
Sean, high or low?
It's always 69. It's
Okay,
always high.
Here we go.
Look though, right?
God damn it.
It never works. Ah.
Unfortunately, you do find Alvarez's bullet-riddled body. He's in the doorway here to the towards the suites. You can see he did die with his weapon out. You can tell he fired it a few times at least.
We need someone to like go through these episodes and count how many times we do a high or low, and we always fucking fail. I swear to God, it's like
It
so
is not.
many.
It is not 50%. I'll tell you that much. It is
No
so much
shot.
lower.
I don't think I've ever gotten a yes from you on this. Oh man. Okay. Can we check his pockets? Does he have like a PDAT or something?
Can we check to see if, I mean, who is alive? Is there
I mean,
anybody
once-
still in the security?
Yeah, because there was. I think there's like 8 or 10 security guards, something like that. So you do eventually find. I mean, they didn't kill everybody. Actually, hold on. I wrote this all out because I knew you guys would ask. There are a total of 5 security guards plus Alvarez, so there's 6 in total, including him. So I'm sure you'll find 1 or 2 that have made it, because these commandos just iced everybody who was in their path. They didn't really seem to go out of their way, or like explore the base. So,
Okay. I guess I want to make sure that they have everything, I don't know, in order the best they can to get things secured and back up and running.
yeah. Well, at this point, the corporate administrator Sebastian, he comes out and he is like swearing up a storm at you guys, and he's basically blaming you guys for this. Like, you're Marines, aren't you supposed to protect us? Look at all this place. The whole station's damaged. What? You know, he seems more concerned about the fact that the station's been damaged rather than there's been a tremendous loss of human life here.
Yeah.
Typical company agent.
Typical way you.
You know, if you had this station manned properly with the security outfit that you needed, this wouldn't have happened either. We're not supposed to be here 24/7. You're lucky we were here at all.
He gets really like flustered at that and starts giving you a tirade about how he's not the one that, you know, chooses who works here, and that's all dictated by the company. You know,
Maybe take that up with your company.
typical excuses like, how do you expect me to run this ship when I'm only given half the supplies I need? You know, I do excellent with the resources I have here until you showed
Not
up.
going on strike.
All right, well, ship's back in your control. We're gonna report back.
Chris, remind me, did we check if there's like a backup server where they back up all like this information that we needed to delete things from?
Yeah, I think
I
through
probably
your
did.
through your,
Oh, we
your
did.
Comtech rules, you figured
Okay.
it out. Yes.
Yeah.
Wanted to- yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So then yeah, I guess we're all good to go. Is there any way we can refill our oxygen?
You probably have extra tanks on the dropship, I would imagine, at least a spare or 2.
Okay, so we're not gonna choke to death on the way back to the tam.
No, definitely not.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so then as me and Sergeant Schmidt are headed back to the ship after clearing all that up, hey Sergeant, I need to know what was going on with you making that backup copy that Cruz found. We're supposed to be a team here, and like, if I don't know what's going on,
I'm gonna turn off my camera.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Yes! And then I shoot the sergeant. Or I say, shoot the corporal.
So
You want to turn off your camera?
He
before
can
we talk about
try.
this?
we've determined how many shots I can take.
oh, it's a lot.
I am at 1 HP right now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that'd probably be a bad idea.
Yeah.
He's gonna hit me with the shield. And I'll
You
be
at, you at least need to be at full health and get Tagar by surprise to maybe stand a chance of not
Yeah.
And
being
he
murdered in the
needs to
first
not
turn.
be wearing armor, not have his shield,
Yeah, you got to get him when
have
he's
been drinking.
just got out of the shower or something and
Yeah.
shiv him in the back.
Should I
Oh.
deafen myself for this conversation?
It's up to you.
I-
I'll let Eric decide that.
So I'll turn mine off too and be like, you better have a damn good reason for this.
Listen, with all these projects going on and us getting beat around the bush, I wanted to make sure this had nothing to do with those projects. So I wanted to know more information about this message and why we're risking apparently our lives for this message. So I wanted an extra copy so I know for sure what's going on and
And
why
are
we're
you-
being shafted.
And do we have a copy of that?
You got the copy.
So
You gave them one copy. We got another copy.
Yeah,
But now we have to explain.
I think
we have to explain to command that we had made backup copies.
Hey, I'm sure they'll be happy with the fact that they even got a backup copy of it.
will they?
But,
Look,
you know,
I need to know what
take-
you're doing on these missions if you're going off book. We can't. I understand this shit is fucked up, but like this is the shit we signed up for. We're out here fighting, risking our lives based on orders. So I don't know what I don't know what you're hoping to get out of these recordings, but I don't
What
think
I'm
it's going to be
hoping
the
to
answers
get-
you're looking for.
more answers for future mission. You know, I don't want to have to go into some places going in dark as we have been and get shafted as we have been. I don't know about you, but this mission and our previous mission, we're just getting overly shafted with what we're up against.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would love to know at least a little bit more about what we're possibly going to be getting sent out to.
Right. Don't leave me in the dark next time.
All right, roger that. Gonna click it back on.
Yeah.
Would both of you please give me a observation roll? The two of you.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Oh no.
Tagar with no successes. And
Apparently I'm bad at that.
I need to make a roll here. Okay. So, Schmidt, as you guys finish this conversation, you notice, Tagar doesn't seem to notice this, you kind of see over Tagar's shoulder, you can tell that Weaver overheard this conversation.
The fucker.
And she tries to turn away, but it's a little too late, where she does, you're not sure if she knows that you know that you know, but you notice, you could tell she was listening and she probably heard most, if not all, that conversation. But you're not sure if she realizes that you noticed. You see her shaking her head. So, do you guys go back to your dropship?
Yep.
Continue on back.
While I'm still there or with O'Connell kind of supporting me, can I find the nerve gas grenade that the guy shot out near me?
Yes.
Cool.
I don't think they
Okay.
would have taken that. Or if they did, they
Okay.
might have overlooked that.
Okay.
Because they did recover all the gear from their dead guys, and they took the dead guys with them. So,
Right.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think they would. Yeah, I don't think they would.
Okay, because it might be something we can use to figure out who they are, or maybe not. We're gonna do everything we can to not get fucked by these guys again.
Yeah, that's really clever, actually, so no roll needed. You find it. It's a little burnt and scorched from the fire bombs that went off, but you do find it.
You know, kind of hobble over, lean down, pick it up. We'll find something on these guys. Trying to do toothless, but
God.
I'll get these teeth implants in the next 2 days.
I don't think missing a few teeth would really fuck up your speech too much. Like,
it depends on which ones,
Yeah.
as I've learned.
I mean,
You
you
just-
could have like fat
you-
lips and stuff.
you whistle
Right.
now every time you
Because,
speak.
like, if your whole mouth
Mike
is going to be
Tyson up in
swollen
here.
from that. Yeah. I learn a lot from the dentists I work with every day. But yeah, let's fucking go back and heal up and clock out.
All right, you guys get back on the dropship. You start to load up, and it is not a triumphant return. Weaver says nothing to any of you guys when she stomps back into the cockpit, and she just slams the door shut until Herschel goes in there. Make sure you guys are all secure. He double checks everybody's harnesses. Yeah, there's nothing he can do about the door right now. You could try to jury rig something to, like, basically tie it down from outside, but, you know, you're not really going through, like, atmosphere so much, so it's not really a big deal. And yeah, it's a bit of a... It's not the usual, like, gung-ho, we made it, you know, heroic return. This is probably a bit of a humbling moment for Cerberus Squad. And I do have one question, though. Do you guys try to access the message that's on the backup disk?
Oh, when I was looking for Alvarez, did he have like a PDAT I could try to take?
Let me see. Is that something he would have? Sure.
Sweet. Okay.
He's one of the heads of the base. I think it makes sense if anybody would have one, it'd be him.
Yeah. So okay. When we get in to the dropship, I would hand that to Tagar. Like, I was able to snag Alvarez's PDAT. There might be something on here.
All right. Well, I guess let's see if we were able to recover the message. And I'm not going to access the message, but I would like to verify that we had it. Like, that the file was there.
Yeah, I think you guys have already verified that at this point. So it's really just whether or not you want to see what it actually contains.
I'm not interested in seeing what it contains.
Super interested, but Cruz is a
anybody,
straight shooter.
like-
He's not going to do that.
Well, I don't have the copy anymore. Someone took it away from me, so.
All right. Final answer.
Final answer.
So be it.
I don't.
Okay. Well, you guys return to the Tambatan maybe an hour or so later, and you guys dock. You can see some of the flight crew are not too happy that your first dropship after getting your first one destroyed is already damaged. And
They didn't have too much work to do.
when
We're keeping them employed.
when Weaver steps off the dropship, one of the guys makes a joke about it, and the look she gives this guy is like such filled with venomous, like a daggerous look, that the guy almost like turns white and like actually takes a step back. And yeah, she's obviously not too happy about it. So you guys are brought to your usual debriefing room where Lieutenant Casados is waiting.
Well,
What? Okay.
before this, can
Yep.
I stop Weaver before she completely disappears.
Sure.
Have a
Well,
private conversation with her.
she goes to these briefings with you, but yes, you can stop her before the briefing, no problem.
Okay. Pull her to the side for a private conversation here.
She just
So,
stops and crosses her arms and looks at you. What?
So, you want to tell me what you overheard?
No, I don't. And she goes and just starts to turn to walk away.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm gonna pull rank on her.
Do you? What do you? You can try if you want.
Oh
yeah,
my
I'm
god.
gonna pull rank and tell her to come back over here.
Okay. Do you have the talent pole rank?
Yeah.
Are you gonna attempt to use it?
Sergeant. I have the talent pull rank.
Okay. How does it work?
Let's see. Force someone to follow your orders or perform a specific action. Roll command against target's manipulation.
Okay.
If successful, the target must follow your orders even if it means harm or danger to themselves. Where is it? Your stress levels is decreased by 1 each time you do this.
And you can't do it against panicking people, but we're not
Okay.
panicking.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. Give me your command roll. Nervous twitch. Okay. So your stress goes up by another 1. And I would say you guys at least notice this. You might not hear it because he pulled her to the side, but you can see he's talking to her. So what do you say as she goes to turn away, Schmidt?
Weaver, come back here. We're not done talking.
She continues to walk.
Now, I will say we probably had like enough time for his panic to, or his stress dice to deplete, right? No?
I think it makes sense. You guys were riding in a shuttle without a back door.
Oh,
so...
right. That's not a safe space.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one, yeah.
Nice try, though.
I'm trying to help my...
So, what I'm saying, Adam, I'm not going to reveal the results here yet, but you're not, with what you said, you're not pulling rank. You're just saying, come back here.
Okay.
So I need you to roleplay this one a little harder.
Okay.
And just so you're aware, in case you forgot, she's a Lance Corporal, so she's 2 ranks below you.
Okay. Weaver, I need you to get back here now and talk to me about what you overheard. It was private conversation.
All right. She stops and she turns, but she doesn't walk back. She's like, "What do you want me to say?"
I need you to tell me exactly what you heard.
You see, she looks down like this. Looks like she takes a deep breath, and she walks straight up to you. She goes, "I heard everything."
And what do you plan to do with that information?
I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll let the LT deal with that. I just fly ships.
Alright. Just remember, if you're gonna try to drag me down for what I said, Tagar's on my boat with me, at least wanting to know what I'm in for.
As she walks away, she looks over her shoulder. She goes, "Sergeant, I don't think you need any help from me dragging yourself down." And she walks off.
Damn.
She rolled a tie, so neither of you. And unfortunately, you can't push because you panicked.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys see this exchange. It's clearly heated. You can tell from just her body language. She wants nothing to do with this conversation. And well, eventually the 6 of you make your way to the debriefing room where Lieutenant Casados and Roy are waiting. Eventually, Sergeant Zimborski joins you guys as the briefing gets underway. And she says, all right, report. What happened?
So, we arrived on station. They were not thrilled to have us there, but we convinced them to let us into the communications room where we questioned the operators. We were able to track down the two workers who found the message and listened to the message, or from what we could tell, or accessed the message. They expressed that it was sent somewhere. We could not determine where. Sergeant Schmidt extracted the data. However, on our way back to the ship, we were ambushed from both ends. We fought our way as much as possible. Cruz went down. O'Connell almost didn't make it. Sergeant Schmidt was able to kind of patch himself up a bit to get himself out of there. But they also came in and commandeered our ship, got Weaver and Herschel under control, and we got stuck in the middle. We took a few down with us, but we were outnumbered and surrounded on both sides. They took the message, the data pad that we had, and the prisoners. They killed both prisoners that we had, and did lots of damage to the station and the personnel. We were able to get a copy on this drive and verify that we have the drive, have the message. However, it has not been accessed by my team.
You see Casados looks over at Roy and Zimborski. Zimborski looks pretty furious. As always, Roy is rather impassive. She takes the drive and kind of looks at it. All right, Sergeant. Dismissed. And as you guys leave the room, you see that Weaver, actually, from her seat, she says, "What's the deal, LT?" She's like, "This is, what, the third mission in a row where we've been caught with our pants at our asses? What the fuck's going on? So who's giving us this intel? Because it was shit." And she starts getting a little lippy. And you see Casados looks a little surprised at this almost. And eventually Zimborski kind of steps up and he was like, "You will stow that shit right now, Lance Corporal." And she kind of shuts her mouth. You can tell she's really trying hard. She's biting her tongue. And Casados says, "All of you are dismissed." And you see she just shakes her head like a tuh, and takes off. You see Herschel's like, Weaver, wait. And he kind of goes after her.
I'm gonna kind of make sure my team leaves the room before turning around then.
Okay. So what, you're the only one in the room with the command squad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I'll leave.
And so I'm gonna address them, be like, my team does have questions about these missions that we're sending on. Weaver's outburst may have been unwarranted, but it comes from a place of frustration where we want to make sure we have the information going into these missions. I almost lost my whole team here, and you've given us no information. What was this message that we all risked our lives for?
Give me a manipulation roll, please.
Manipulation?
Of course, man. You're talking to command. You thought it was going to be something else?
Still, one success is pretty good.
I'm gonna keep my stress just so I can overkill all these like random manipulation rolls.
I just execute the command team in a hail of fire to get answers. Just fucking tell me what I want to know.
That will end so well.
All right, let me make a roll here for Casados. You see Szymborski is about to give you the Weaver treatment and tell you to stow it. And she holds her hand up. She says, Corporal, even if I knew what was on this message, you know that I would not be able to divulge that information to you. We were given orders by command to retrieve it. Your squad was the one chosen to carry that out.
Were we given all the information?
She kind of looks at you for a long moment. Your frustration has been noted. Give
Understood.
me a... It's probably going to be another manipulation roll, I would think. I would say manipulation or observation, your choice. Kind of our sense motive skill.
Oh my god.
I'm a little bit better at that.
What the fuck?
4 successes. Okay, well, before obviously you passed this, so before I tell you this, you have a couple stunts here. This is basically to kind of read the lieutenant and see if you can kind of tell what she might be thinking, or if she's lying or holding something back. So, is there anything particular you want to try to glean from this before I tell you?
And I use one of the stunts, or however many I need, to read the rest of the room, the other command staff.
I'd say 1 stunt for each of them, sure.
And how many are there?
There's just 2 others, Szymborski
Okay.
and the android Roy. So you
Yep.
still have 1 stunt.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out whether or not they had more information that they didn't tell me
Okay.
going into this mission, or if they kind of this was the expected outcome of the mission.
All right. It is impossible to read Roy. Being an android, his demeanor really hasn't changed this whole time, so you can't tell. It's just, it's impossible to tell. Szymborski, you can tell, seems more upset that you're questioning orders, and it seems to you, like his typical, he's the staff sergeant, it's his job to make sure you guys do what you're supposed to. This doesn't seem out of character for him. It doesn't seem like anything different than he normally does. So you don't suspect that he's upset that you're asking because he's trying to hide something. He seems upset that you're asking because you're disrupting the COC. Casados, you do not get the impression that she is holding any information about this. You don't think that she knows any more than what she's telling you. And you can tell that she seems to want to say more, but you're guessing because she's such a higher rank than you that she probably thinks it's inappropriate to, especially with the other command squad members here. Because through experience and through what you've heard in your time in the Marines, that Casados is known for being, some people say she's a people pleaser or she's a people person. She's definitely more on the talking side of being a soldier versus a physical presence. She doesn't look incredibly strong or tough. She carries her authority more from the fact that she has this rank, and she's good at talking to people and getting them to understand, like, hey, you're talking to an officer, you better watch what you say, sort of thing. Not so much that, like, Zimborski is like, you're pretty sure if he wanted to, he would just fucking beat everybody's asses until they submitted to what he wanted. So you get the feeling that she wants to tell you more, perhaps give you answers, but either she doesn't have those answers and or she doesn't think it's appropriate because of the difference in rank, and she's a CO and you're just a squad leader.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I would say with 4 successes, you definitely don't think like the LT is holding anything intentionally or misleading.
Then I guess on my way out, I'll be like, understood, ma'am. I'm gonna go make sure my Marines are taken care of.
As you will. All right. Well, you head back outside. The rest of the squad is still there. Weaver has stormed off. Herschel's gone after her. What do the 4 of you do?
Who would I submit like evidence to? Because I picked up that grenade. Do I just submit it in like a report, or?
Yeah, there's probably a menial that
Okay.
comes by, or Roy probably collects your reports after you're done, so you'd probably give it to him.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna howl off to the med bay.
Yeah.
I'll,
Get everybody to go see Doc.
Okay.
Yeah, pull Tagar aside first, and hey Tagar. Just so you know, Weaver overheard our entire conversation.
We didn't say anything. Again, you keep me informed of what you're doing, just like the rest of my Marines. I don't expect anything different from anybody else.
Roger that. Figured I'd give you a heads up.
She's just as pissed as the rest of us. We almost lost her squad there.
Well, you got that right. I guess you could better understand why I run things the way I did. Kind of skirt the lines of what's right and wrong.
Maybe. But you'd still be in my position if you were doing it right.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta not do it right.
I'm looking at my notes, and I have something here that says O'Connell checked who the message was sent out to.
Yes, but we couldn't we checked to see if we could find
I don't
out.
know.
We
I don't know if
didn't
he got
find
enough
it.
successes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We knew that he sent it out to one person,
Yeah.
but not who that person was.
Okay, so my note here is probably for my own sake of who it was sent to, in case you guys delved further into it.
Oh no,
Yeah.
we did know.
Too late.
Pretty sure.
Nice try.
Is that where we got that Wayland Yutani clue from?
Yeah, so I definitely misspoke when I said Wayland Yutani, because these guys did not have any iconography. But like I said, it looks like Wayland Yutani equipment, or at least UA equipment. But I also had you guys make that roll to see if you knew more, and none of you guys recognize this. So as far as your characters go, you have whatever assumptions you'd like to make. The closest thing is Wayland Yutani uses white in a lot of their uniforms, and these guys were in white. So, and you guys would probably all know about the Wayland, the Ape Suit Commandos, and their uniforms are white. So, but, yeah. Okay. Well, quite the drama filled here. as we go into our downtime. So you guys go to the med bay, get patched up, obviously. The broken teeth, you know, it's not the end of the world. Did we roll to see how many teeth you lost? Was that a thing?
No, it was just days.
Okay.
It was 2 days.
We're gonna roll D3. All right, 2 teeth. 2 teeths.
Okay, cool. So cool.
I like it.
Obviously you can eventually get those replaced with, you know,
Yeah,
veneers or
like
whatever.
fully, it's the 22nd century. They can create fully grown teeth to implant into my jaw, right?
I don't know how that goes in the alien universe. I got some teeth we've been putting in this black goo. It's a really good substance to connect to your jaw. You sure?
I'll just go without for now.
It merges on a molecular level. It's really fascinating.
I bet it does. I really bet it does.
Yeah.
No, they just do titanium rods into your jaw and screw the tooth on.
I think that's cool. I would like that. Can I have
3 of them.
incisors?
Do you really?
I have 3 of them. Yeah.
You serious?
It's implants.
That's a thing? Oh.
Yeah. I had 3. I had missing teeth, so they
What
gave me implants.
Where'd you have missing teeth from?
Just never had them.
You were born without teeth?
With adult teeth, yeah. So I had the baby teeth, but there was no adult tooth under them.
What?
Yeah, one of my coworkers actually had no back molars.
So did the baby tooth fall out and there was just nothing there?
Yep.
Whoa, you're a fucking mutant. That's awesome.
Okay, it's not uncommon.
Well, I'm 39 years old and I've never heard of that. So you're a mutant. I don't know how to tell you. Screwing teeth. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Painful, I imagine.
Well, you're unconscious if they're doing implants generally.
If they're doing it right. So
I work with dentists. That's how they do it.
You,
my wife also does. So.
So did my ex-wife. Now I'm triggered. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Oh, damn it.
That was the goal, Chris. I just wanted to trigger you.
Okay, well, grenade goes off. Turns out the nerve gas wasn't empty.
No.
And you got all those open wounds in your mouth, so it really just right in your bloodstream.
Amazing.
So
I wanted him to go.
Eventually, you guys are patched up. You will have your individual briefings with the LT, which we'll do, and then we'll take our break. So we'll jump to that first. Now, we'll start with. I'm going to start with Cruz, actually.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah, Bunnilla and Eric, if you guys want to mute or deafen yourselves, you guys deafen yourselves, right?
Yeah, we can.
You can, yeah. It's the
What is
headphones icon right next to your microphone icon.
Oh, at the bottom. Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I think it'll
Okay,
show.
normally you deafen me.
Yeah, it's where your name is, just one across from the the microphone icon.
Very bottom in Discord.
The very bottom.
Bottom
I see
left.
the microphone. I don't
Maybe,
see a.
Maybe because he's using a Bluetooth headphone. I don't know. It might not be there.
All right. Well, I will have to do it. Where is deafen?
Oh,
Oh, okay, got it.
And now
right.
Vanilla's not that.
There we go. Yeah, okay. All right. So you are brought in to the the room. The room.
The room.
Casado says, "Have a seat, Private."
Do a nice crisp salute. Sit down.
How's the mouth holding up?
Getting better. Yeah.
Good.
A lot less swollen.
I'll make this one short. She looks like she's thinking for a moment with the right words. She says, your scuffle with the sergeant. Disagreement, if you will.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
We had found 2 of the people, or at least 2 people that had seemed to have found the data, seemed to react suspiciously. We eventually got the information from him, and the sergeant downloaded the message, and we did what we could to wipe the servers. As we were leaving, we eventually got to the security checkpoint. He seemed to be fiddling around with his personal comm terminal, or his PDAT. Kind of weird. Asked him what he was doing. He gave an evasive answer. So, thought something was off. Snatched it from his hands and saw he had made a separate copy of the information. I don't know what he was planning to do with it, but then I handed it to our leader, our corporal, and let him know he was making a copy without authorization.
Did you listen and read the message?
Just checking with Chris. I don't believe I listened or read the message. I just saw that he made the message.
Correct, yeah.
The
You
copy.
don't even know if it was like a voice Well, I think it was clarified that it was like a letter. It was something to read. It wasn't like a voice message.
Right.
So she would say, did you read the message?
No, I did not.
Did the sergeant?
I wouldn't know.
Did anyone else in the squad?
I believe the sergeant was the only one that had really tried to access the data. O'Connell might have been searching to see if anyone else had accessed it, but after I got the terminal, I handed it to our sergeant, or corporal, our leader, and from there I don't know what he did with it.
All right. Dismissed.
All right. Walk away.
Okay.
Another Christmas salute if I need to.
All right. Let's get Eric back in here.
And I'll deafen myself. Bye-bye.
Be alone here for a second, listeners, to my own thoughts, until Eric figures out how to use his thing. He might not see my message. I can't mess it. There we go. Okay.
Back.
All right. So since Bunnilla's not here, we'll just jump over to the sergeant. So, Sergeant, the corporal, you are brought into the usual debriefing room. All three of the command squad members are there. And, Lieutenant asks you to have a seat.
Yeah, I do.
Says, I think you know why you're here, Corporal.
Yep. During the briefing, I explained a good portion of what is going on. We did come upon that extra copy of the data.
Actually, before we get into this, in your personal report about the mission, would you have mentioned that you and Schmidt, there was this disagreement with him, with this extra data that, Cruz brought up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would have brought up that that the extra data was not something that was requested from Sergeant Schmidt. That's something he did on his own.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so she's like, you know why you're here, so start talking, basically, what she says.
Okay. As I spoke to you previously, some of my Marines are starting to, become concerned with the information that they've been receiving prior to going on missions. They did follow orders unquestionably during the mission, but they, some went a little off book from what I had planned. But we got the information, and I had my own discussion with Sergeant Schmidt about leaving me out of the loop when he's making these decisions. It came under my control, and I kept control of the data until we returned to station.
All right. Make a roll here for her. You can see she is looking at you intently, as she usually does, to see if there's any holes in your story or if she believes what you're saying. I know that wasn't an easy first mission. I know intel's been spotty as of late, I think is the best way to put it. We did not have any more information about this mission. We were told to get the data. That was it. I do not know who it was that attacked you, attacked the station. Don't know who took that data. But I am going to do a little questioning of my own.
My Marines acted in a way to protect themselves and their peers. And I do not fault them for that. However, I don't want to be left in the dark, as do they.
Again, she's kind of... looks like she's thinking really intently. She's not really looking at either Zimborski or Roy right now. And then she just kind of looks at you and nods her head, and she says, I don't fault them either. I think you handled the situation as best as could be. But take this as a lesson. Be prepared for anything.
We will be.
Your squad was disorganized and arguing at a key moment. You need to be on better guard.
I'll make sure of it.
All right, Corporal. Dismissed. And, all right. Let's get Adam back in here. All right. So, Schmidt, you are brought to the usual room. And Casados is there with the other two. She tells you to have a seat. She says, I don't think I need to explain why you're here.
No, the usual, I imagine.
Yes, the usual. So, Sergeant, tell me why you thought it was pertinent to make a copy of this classified data, which was so expressly explained to you of its sensitive nature.
Well, I mean, let's start off with the first fact that it's I wouldn't say it's a good thing I did, because you guys now have a copy of it. That our first one got stolen. Secondly,
Zimborski steps up and he says, you better watch your tongue, Sergeant. That's your CO you're talking to. Cut the smart-ass bullshit right now.
Secondly, as sensitive as the nature may be, doesn't hurt to know what we're in for. Tired of being left in the dark. Our boys, my former men, well, still men, but I'm not their current superior right now. We almost died on a mission that was supposed to be low risk. We took weapons specifically for non-lethal as much as possible, and yet here we are getting jumped by 12 guys. So forgive me for not completely trusting everything that I'm being told for a mission.
She takes a moment, kind of processing what you've said. Says, I thought I made it very clear, Sergeant. Thought I made it very clear that you need to keep your ass in line.
I feel like I did a pretty good job.
I don't care what happened at that mission. You were explicitly told to retrieve the data, not make copies of it. Just because of the fact that your little stunt means we got a copy of it does not excuse that you were not supposed to make a copy in the first place.
Well, I do feel then at that point, maybe you guys need to be asking more questions to the uppers when it comes down to what exactly these missions entail, so we're better informed. Because had we probably known the nature of this message, aside from it just being sensitive, we probably would have came in way better prepared for anything that could have happened.
At this point, Zimborski slams his fist on the table. And he says, you will stow it right now, Sergeant. Your job is not to ask questions. Your job is to do what the fuck you're told. Is that understood?
Yeah, that's understood. Just keep in mind, me and the men, our lives are on the line while you get to sit in your nice office here and just quote orders, all right?
At that point, he comes around the side of the table and grabs you by the like your shirt and lifts you out of the chair and throws you up against a wall. Do you do anything?
I just shrug it off. I must have hit a soft spot there, huh?
He actually takes a swing at you. Do you try to block or dodge or anything?
I'm gonna try to dodge.
Okay. Give me... I gotta get his character sheet up. Holy shit, I didn't expect this to happen. Alright, give me a mobility roll. Alright. So, he goes to swing and you dodge out of the way, and his hand smashes into this filing cabinet behind you. There's a dent, in it. And, at this point, Lieutenant Casados jumps up, and Roy steps in, and she goes, "That is enough! Both of you, stand the fuck down!" Do you stand down?
I stand down.
You can see Zimborski is beat red. But he stands up. There's veins in his neck popping. He's so pissed off. You can see there's a little blood on his hand where he cut his hand. She says, "Sergeant, this is the last warning I am going to give you. If you do not step your ass in line, you will be in the brig for the rest of your time here. I don't give a fuck what command says. Am I clear?"
Crystal.
Then get the fuck out of my sight.
Roger that. Might need a new filing cabinet.
Zimborski's ready to charge you, but she steps in the way. She says, "Sergeant, stand down." All right.
I'll just walk on out.
Damn. That,
Oh.
I heard fucking dice rolls and looked up and there's a mobility challenge. Like, oh no!
Somebody jumped over a death.
Oh boy.
All right, we're at our halfway point, so let's go grab our Dr. Pepper. Let's reset, and you can think about what you've done here, and then we'll come back. Oh man, this is spicy. This is almost more fun than the actual missions. It's the downtime, man. This is
Finding out what these motherfuckers do.
Yep. All right, we'll take our break. We'll be right back, listeners. Peace.
BRB.
So, before we started, or just as we started, my mom tried calling me. I didn't answer. I just listened to her message. Do you guys know who Sven Gulli is?
Yeah.
But Adam probably doesn't, because he's not from Chicago, but around here. So, for those listeners who don't know, Sven Gulli is an icon in, like, the horror world, especially around here in Chicago. He has a show on WC, what is it, WIC, the U?
I don't know.
The U is the name of the channel. It's the public access cable channel, but he runs a show where he shows old horror movies and plays like goofy sound effects on them and stuff and jokes around. But I mean, technically he's the son of Sven Gulli because he's the second Sven Gulli. But anyway, my dad is a huge Sven Gulli fan. Kind of looks like him a little bit, especially in his youth. And Sven Gulli goes all over. He does like horror conventions. You know, he's at Fright Fest at Six Flags sometimes, stuff like that. And I've met him. My parents have met him multiple times. During his show, he has a casket that's up against the wall, and the casket opens. It's an old school coffin. And the top part opens, so he's standing in the coffin, and he'll start talking about what's going on in the show. And one of his gags is these fucking rubber chickens, these yellow, straight rubber chickens that people throw at him as he's signing off on the show. And then he closes the casket as they're throwing stuff at the coffin lid, right? So oftentimes at a signing, people will bring him these rubber chickens to sign and shit like that. Well, anyway, you know, he's met my parents so many times that he kind of knows them by name. And apparently on his show that was just airing tonight, he mentioned this fucking rubber chicken my parents brought for him, but it like was wearing like a Hawaiian grass skirt. And he actually mentioned my parents by name and the fucking thing. And I guess he showed a picture or a clip of him signing it on the show. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
like a Chicago legend. That's peak.
Yeah. And I've got his autograph. Sean has seen this. I have his autograph on a T-shirt and a picture that my parents got when they met him. And on one of them, because my parents told him that I'm a funeral director in real life, he wrote "Save a Coffin" for me, which is pretty hilarious. And the first time, I've only met him once. And it was at Six Flags one year. And I remember this was back when I was in high school. A friend of mine from grade school that I was really good friends with was like, hey, we're going to Fright Fest tonight. And it was like, it's like a school night, right? It was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool, right? So like we left like at 6 or 7 in the evening, right, to go to Fright Fest. And they told me Sven Gulli was going to be there. So I was like, okay, let's go. I'll get an autograph for my parents. And I remember meeting him, and I told him, like, hey, my parents are, like, a huge fan. You know, they wanted me to get your autograph. So he was like, oh, cool, man. We'll tell him thanks for watching the show and everything. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. He shows up every now and then. And so if you're around Chicago, Sven Gulli's kind of a legend around here. He usually wears, like, a top hat. He's got long black hair, and he's got big black circles painted on his eyes. And he's got, like, a black goatee. And he's usually wearing, like, some sort of, like, suit. Usually like a purple or like a dark red suit or something like that. And he just like tells jokes about old crappy horror movies and stuff like that. So good shit.
Okay.
Good shit.
Yeah.
So right in time for that.
I didn't know he was only like Chicago. I thought he was more like just kind of a like national kind of thing, like an American thing.
I mean, maybe these days he might be a little bit more well known.
Right.
But I know back in the day,
I've only ever lived in the Chicago area, so I've always seen him. So
because
it never occurred to me.
I think I mean, Eric, I don't know if you know, but I believe, I mean, Channel 26, the U, I think is a Chicago channel, right? I don't think that's...
I think so.
Because, like I said,
I definitely, like, I remember hearing about him when I was living back in Illinois, but
yeah,
that was, I don't know that I've heard anything about him since then.
I mean, I'm sure he's gone to conventions and stuff
forever.
outside of Illinois, but I don't think his show is... who knows? In this day of streaming, he might be more mainstream now, but, you know, back then when it was the first Svengoolie, it definitely wasn't. It was, you know, your black and white channel on, you know, fucking channel 26, right? Like, you know, so.
Back when games only worked on channel 3.
Yep.
Oh, God.
That's a joke, listeners. If you're young, you might not understand that.
TVs had channels.
Yeah, you used to literally only be able to play video games on channel 3, okay? We struggled.
There were these huge yellow, red, and white wires you had to plug in.
God.
In the right order.
And then if you bought the wrong TV, didn't have all 3 of those colors.
Oh, God, yeah, God. When they first started switching over to HD, it was like, what is going on here?
Stupid adapters.
Yeah, got a new TV and I couldn't play my games. Like, what
struggle?
What is this? How do I...
You know,
I had to buy an adapter. It was bullshit. Yeah.
The game that got me into the HD era was the original Dead Rising, because when that game came out, it was made for HD TVs, and you couldn't read the font of the subtitles or the text. So when you'd get the messages from Otis about your missions, you couldn't read what the fuck he was saying. So you had no idea what you're supposed to be doing in the game. And so that's when for my birthday, they got me a flat screen TV, which had the fucking red, white, and, you know, or the orange, whatever, the 3 colors. And I was actually able to read the messages, and it was game changing.
Nice.
It's like, why is this so blurry? Like,
I can't read this on the
144p.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
back in the old ages, the dark ages, technology.
Tube television.
All right. So we are back on the Tambatam, and do you guys do anything in particular after these briefings? Or should I kind of move things along here?
I think it's fair to move things along.
Yeah, I mean, I would check to make sure Cruz, O'Connell, and Weaver got the medical attention they needed.
Oh, yeah. Weaver, she probably very begrudgingly goes to the med bay just to get everybody to stop bothering her. But it's like one of those things, okay, put a bandage on and I got shit to do. She didn't get like any critical injuries, so she's not as banged up. Okay. Well, afterwards, we'll go into some downtime. A couple things happen. So, for starters, you guys will not get a story point for this mission, because it is not really a success.
We got the data, though.
Yeah, but you didn't
And
stop
we
it from getting
survived.
leaked. Oh, they don't care if you survive. That was not the mission. The mission was to get the data, make sure it didn't leak. So
Okay.
It was leaked before we got there.
that's true,
Right.
but it's leaked even more now to who knows who the fuck took it. So sorry, no story.
Win
point.
some, you lose some, I guess. Okay.
No 100% streak for you guys. Sorry.
Damn.
Have to restart the campaign with new characters so you can do it again.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
Aid's coming.
So during this time, you guys go back into hypersleep, and when you guys are brought out of hypersleep, it is not for another mission. It is instead to it's actually to a little bit of leave, a little bit of time off. Turns out the Tambatam is back at... Oh, I guess before we leave, I'll reveal the map here, just so you guys can see all the hard work I put into this.
That we didn't get to see.
Yeah. Well, I thought it might go this way. I wasn't sure, but I made sure everything was ready, just in case.
Whoa! Oh, I really wish we could have explored this.
I mean, it's nothing fancy, but, you know.
maintenance bay, hydroponics, living quarters, rec room. This feels kind of like the Ishimura.
A warehouse filled with goodies that could have been in there.
Ugh. Should have just, overloaded the reactor, blown everything up like a one-shot.
Oh, I should have pointed out, when you guys left the station, you would see that indeed the air traffic control tower was destroyed.
Oh, jeez.
It is very clear that they took it out with some ship weapons.
Damn.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
So, we find ourselves back at Mount Tithonius, which is, if you guys don't recall, is where you guys first set out from after you found the wreckage that was Fort Nebraska. This is where the entire fleet was assembled, and General Vaughn gave her message to you guys. You discover the Tam is here to resupply, refit, rearm, things like that. Especially, you've had the death of Finks, so his body is brought here. Probably get at least one new person to kind of fill in his role, and you guys have a little bit of downtime while you're on the base here. It is also during this time that you find out that second section of your platoon had a mission between your last mission and now. So you guys have been in cryo now for probably close to, let's see, where did they go? It's been probably close to between 3 to 4 weeks. You guys have been in cryo. It's one of your longer times. And why don't you all give me a we need what's that skill in Warhammer? What's the rumor skill, Sean? I forget.
Gossip?
Gossip, that's it. We need a gossip. Definitely be
Like
some
Lance Corporal Underground.
Manipulation. Yeah.
What's that?
Manipulation would probably be the only one.
Yeah, because it's definitely empathy. So give me a manipulation, everybody.
Or just a straight empathy.
Well, no, if you got the skill for manipulation.
Nope, not that one.
Yeah.
Oh, your stress is all cleared at this point, guys. You guys are back to full health too.
Oh, okay. Well, I would
What?
have gotten 2 successes.
Okay. So,
What can I use my...
oh yeah, stunt. That's right.
Yeah.
Everybody passed though. Nicely done.
My opponent is impressed by me and will try to help me later in some way. Details are up to the GM, the game mother.
Okay. Oh, also, you guys would know that O'Connell was not brought into a private briefing with the command squad. It was well, you guys know Weaver was taken in, but O'Connell was not. Just FYI.
Weird.
So, you guys discover second section went on a mission. You hear this from various members of the squad. Tagar, you probably get this story from Sergeant Green, the squad leader of second section. Cruz, you probably... Oh, we'll get to you because there's some little special that you come across.
Ooh.
And Schmidt, well, after losing that basketball game, people kind of still talk a little bit of shit about you.
Oof.
So you just probably hear bits and pieces of this. Maybe Ogata fills you in, so you don't have really any bad blood with Ogata right now. But what you ultimately discover is that they were sent on a mission. A ship by the name of the USS Nanshan had reappeared. You guys know this is important because this ship is a Conestoga, just like yours. Oh, by the way, does anybody know what a Conestoga is? It's a real thing. I looked this up.
No.
Pony Island.
No, and the reason I looked it up is because I had a customer who the street name they lived on was Conestoga. And I was like, okay, what does this mean? I have to find out. So there's a couple different terms, but I'm pretty sure the one that they were using in Alien, Conestoga is the official term they used for the old, like Oregon Trail style wagons they used in the Western times.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
cool.
so when you see the covered wagon with the arched top, that is, I guess that's called a Conestoga wagon. Yeah.
I'm going to use that on Monday when we play our
there you go.
Wild West, Weird West game.
And the thing I found had the diagram, and it was like showing like how much stuff they could cram in these, and you can on the inside there'd be drawstraps or drawstrings, so you could close it. So if you were in a sandstorm or some shit or a dust storm,
I bet Scaarr would have known that.
He might. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So there
What
you go.
was the name of the ship?
It's called the USS Nanshan. I'll put that in chat for you. So we got all these weird non-American terms.
I'm gonna find a song for that one too. We'll find one.
Whoa, Black Betty, here's the Nanshan.
Yeah, something like that.
Just
It
everything.
can't be all the same song. They have to have separate songs.
There's only one song in the future. It's just Black
It's a little
Betty.
Black Betty.
It's just variations of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
So the Nanshan is the same type of ship that you guys are on. It's a Conestoga class frigate, and it was part of the the 61 Cygni Task Force. And you guys know that this was a fleet that was assembled at Fort Nebraska, and it was sent to go make a counterattack against the UPP fleet that had recently annexed the 61 Cygni system. And there was a UA colony called LV-038 that was there, that was annexed when the UPP kind of started their push, which kind of started the Frontier War, so to speak.
What was the LV?
038.
038.
Now, you all know that the fleet was never heard from again. It was presumed lost. It was presumed perhaps destroyed by the UPP fleet, because as far as you guys understand, the UPP fleet arrived at Fort Nebraska. You guys saw wreckages of UPP ships in orbit around the orbital refinery refueling station, which was attached by that big orbital elevator. But you didn't stay to really investigate much. So now what you find out from the various members of Second Section is that apparently the Nanshan reappeared mysteriously, way off course. It was like over here-ish, several parsecs. So this is where Fort Nebraska is, okay? Actually, let's go to this map, because this map has the other one on it. Okay, you guys are out at over here, I think. All right. So here's the 61 Cygni system. That star right there. And just above it, north on the map, you can see Fort Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole parsec was more or less UA space.
Right.
UPP came in, they annexed the system, and then everybody thought Fort Nebraska was going to be the next target because it's the closest and it makes sense. It's a military installation. It's an oil-producing world, and oil is still very heavily fought over in the future here. So they assembled this fleet. Command did. They sent the fleet out. Never came back. And Second Section's telling you guys this ship was found like all the way over here in a frontier area. So about 4 or 5 parsecs past Fort Nebraska. Sergeant Green himself, along with Lance Corporal Yazi, the APC driver, PFC Angela Dubois, who is the CBRN specialist. You probably heard this from her since you're a CBRN Marine, Adam. And Private Hassan Rakesh, the forward observer, were the ones that actually went on board the ship. The ship was damaged. It was without any sort of power, completely running dark, and they were sent to find out what happened, recover the flight recorder, and see if they could discover what went down. The other interesting fact is that the Nanshan was the flagship for the very infamous and well-known unit within the Marine Corps called the Sin Eaters, which are a highly covert op, some would even say black op unit, that are known or have a reputation for getting some of the most dangerous or distasteful jobs. So that was even a bigger thing, because the Sin Eaters are famous throughout the Marine Corps.
Were those the guys we found on the mining mission? Like the black armored UA guys?
No, those are called... I don't know if you guys had the name of... I think...
Let me check, because I have been taking pretty extensive fucking notes.
I'm almost positive you guys discovered who they were, but I don't want to say for sure.
Was that Operation Deep Shaft? Just the tip.
It was, yes.
Yeah, okay. Black Ops Captain Karambit. God, there's so much writing, Sean. Why are you doing this? Okay, I don't know if I took those notes, but
all right,
black guards.
Yes, yes. Okay.
There we go. It was there somewhere.
Yes, so the Black Guard are different. Black Guard are known for... They're also like a special ops unit, but you know that the Black Guard are primarily meant to be like bodyguards for higher-ups, and you know that General Vaughn has a contingent of Black Guard under her command. The Sin Eaters are just a very highly specialized, well-known, famous unit within the Marine Corps.
I feel like we've heard the name Sin Eaters.
You have, and I will tell you where you did hear that, because this will come up probably at some point.
Okay.
The reason you know about the Sin Eaters is that Corporal Carvalho from 2nd Section, the Comtech Marine, his younger brother Isaac, was a Sin Eater, and he was on Ariarchus when all this shit went down. And he, in a couple episodes ago, he had asked O'Connell to keep an eye out, or if he knew anything about what happened on Ariarchus. He's trying to find out what happened to his brother. He said that he's just been listed as KIA, but there's little to no information, and he's trying to, get information to give to his folks.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there is a small connection there.
Okay.
Now, Sergeant Green and the others explained to you guys through various rumors, or if you eventually ask them, the whole section got on their dropship. They went to the ship, which, by the way, was being pulled into the gravity well of a nearby planet, a gas giant, by the time they found it. So it was kind of a time-sensitive mission. When they found the ship, the starboard side had a massive hole in it from some sort of damage. It looked like probably ship-to-ship battle damage. And it was covered in like a black stain on the outside of the ship, like around this hole. They circled around. They couldn't find anywhere else onto the ship. They tried to go through the lower hangar, like we see in Aliens when they drop out of the ship, and the hangar doors would not open for some reason. They're guessing because there was no power. So they went to the dorsal side of the ship. That's the top side of the ship. They basically space repelled down, and they broke through one of the outer airlocks to get into the ship. Discovered it had no power, no gravity, no air, no oxygen, and obviously no heat, so everything was like frozen. They made their way up to the bridge. The bridge They looked around for a bit, and they realized the bridge was coated in old, dried, and frozen blood. But there were no bodies. There were signs that a fight had happened, but there were no bodies. They eventually split up. Dubois stayed in the bridge, tried to force her way into Mother. This Mother unit had a keypad. It also required an access card. They actually figured out the code to the keypad. They used some very clever stuff with the way the ship had frozen. They were able to see which buttons had been used the most, and then they just deduced it because there was only 4 numbers. So they
Cool. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so that was very smart on their part. But they didn't have a key. They couldn't find the commanding officer, but they did get the flight recorder. And then Dubois stayed there and started cutting her way through Mother, the door with a cutting torch, which was going to take a while. The rest of the squad started checking some of the lower decks, trying to check where some of the cryopods were. And they discovered a strange black fungus in one of the areas, one of the ready rooms. They also discovered the remains of several Marines that appeared to have literally been dismembered. And they discovered what looked like a Marine or two that had exploded from something. Upon seeing this, they made sure, even if they got power back on, to keep their suits on. They tried to get the reactor restarted, but it was going to take a while. The reactor was damaged and leaking, and rather than get it repaired, Sergeant Green decided they would go check the bridge instead. So they went to the bridge, then they split up. Yeah, they went to the reactor first to get the power back on. So Dubois and you guys would hear, especially from Dubois, she was not too happy with Sergeant Green's handling of this mission. There was a lot of bickering back and forth and questioning of decisions. So while Dubois was alone, she was attacked by some sort of alien creature, which she describes, and the others describe because they eventually see it, is this tall, white, spindly creature with almost translucent skin, a long tail, and a head that was kind of bulbous at the front and then tapered into a point. And they said the thing had no eyes, it stood bipedally, had these elongated arms. The best way to think of it, like structure-wise, it looks like the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. Except its head is completely smooth. And then, eventually, they did realize it does have a mouth which opens up. But when the mouth is closed, it's just a completely smooth face. No eyes, razor-sharp claws, and what they ultimately discovered, a razor-sharp tail. It got the drop on Dubois. She managed to fight it off and injure it. It ran off through a vent. At that point, she was like, we need to regroup and get the fuck out of here. The sergeant decided they were going to go down to one of the cryo bays, which they discovered was barricaded from the inside. They were using Rakesh's pups that he sent out to scan the place. The pups managed to find a way into this room, and they detected life forms. They got in there. They found one cryo bank with about 6 or 7 people that were still alive, and it was the first lieutenant, who was the second in command of the ship, and it was a group of sin eaters. However, they looked sick, even in cryo. They looked like they were sweating while they were in cryo. They discussed what to do. There was a lot more arguing. Eventually, they decided to try to get the lieutenant out and get him in a suit so they could ask him what happened. And as soon as they took him out, he started coughing and choking. And they said he started to develop these... His name was First Lieutenant Nixon Wells, was his name. He started displaying black veins coming up all over his skin, and they got him into a suit. It didn't help. At first they thought he was suffocating, and then he started to attack them. They managed to kind of throw him back, and as they did, his body started to expand like a balloon, and he exploded in a shower of blood and black goo, which luckily did not get on anybody. At this point, they went back upstairs. They finished breaking into Mother. They got access to Mother, and they kind of determined a little bit about what happened to the ship. So, the ship made it with the fleet to the 61 Cygni system, where they were ambushed by part of the UPP fleet. But it was not the entire fleet. Turns out half the fleet had already left and made their way to Fort Nebraska, while the other half stayed behind to distract the UA fleet. During this fight, an unidentified third-party ship entered the orbital battle and detonated an EMP that disabled both sides. It was at this point the entire ship was offline except for Mother, so Mother has no idea what happened at that point, but eventually Lieutenant Wells and his Sin Eater group got power restored temporarily. Mother explains the ship had suffered heavy damage from some sort of attack. That's where the hole came from. And at this point, there was some sort of unidentified contaminant on the ship, and there were unidentified creatures, and Marines and Sin Eaters alike were fighting all sorts of things that had broken out on the ship. Wells and his group set a course for Fort Nebraska to warn the UA command what had happened, and they went back into cryo. Unfortunately, the repairs they did to the ship were temporary at best, and the ship started having critical system failures while they were in FTL. So Mother had to do an emergency disembark from FTL, and that threw the ship off course past Fort Nebraska, and it drifted without any power at that point. And, the cryopods of the Sin Eaters, special type of cryopod that each have their own emergency backup system. So the Sin Eaters unit, though that group was still alive, everything else on the ship she assumed was dead. And it wasn't until Green Squad got on there that they got this information. As they left the ship after the Lieutenant Wells exploded, they left the other Sin Eaters behind, and while they were making their escape, they were attacked by the same creature that had attacked Dubois earlier, and they were attacked by a second one. They managed to kill one of them, but not before Rakesh got his arm chopped off by one of these things' tails. Luckily, they drove off the other one. They got Rakesh into the shuttle, and they patched him up before he died from blood loss and got him back to the ship in time, just before the Nan Shan got sucked into the gravity well of the gas giant and was presumably destroyed. And they returned the flight recorder and this data they got obviously to Lieutenant Casados, and she sent it to command. So you see at this point, Rakesh now has a mechanical arm. It was his offhand that got chopped off, but still, he's not too happy about it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of rumors and scuttlebutt as to what the fuck happened. So that's the big thing you guys hear about during this downtime. You're free to interact with any of the other characters if you want to ask more.
All right, Chris. First off, why would you make me type all that out? Okay.
Well, I'll tell
Second
you.
off, can you tell me? Can you put the names of all of those Marines in chat? Just the second section. Just the second section of Marines.
Just the ones that went on the mission?
Yeah. I think all the other important names I got. Just the Marines. You want to buy them so quick. I just didn't want to interrupt the fantastic storytelling.
No problem. Well, you can also go listen to the episode once it airs But then you would have all the information.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Right.
I want just
Yeah.
what you tell me. The story. I have to be in character, Chris.
I like it. Okay, who else do we
I know
have?
Rakresh, Green, Dubois. I 2 more, I think.
Yazi was the other one.
Yazi. Okay, so it was just 4.
Yes.
Okay.
The whole section was on the shuttle, the dropship, but only 4 of them actually went onto the ship. And then the others were there as backup in case anything went bad. Which it did. But, yeah.
It felt real bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to at some point go through that and just fix typos. It's like fucking 5 paragraphs of writing.
You know what? I might be able to help you with that, because I do have some abbreviated notes here.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Let me see if this works. 'Cause these are all bullet pointed, so I can give you each of these I'm going to put as a paragraph is like a bullet point. Can you copy and paste that?
Can't copy it.
Oh yeah, you can highlight it and then.
Yeah, you can copy.
All right, good.
Okay, well, it now definitely feels like all my work was for nothing, but that's life. Sometimes your boss comes in and deletes all of your work and says, read to it.
Yep.
I'm not going to do that, though. You guys can copy those things if you want. I wrote my notes. I'm going to stand by that.
Okay. Well, one more here. Look at all that.
Those will be good for when Scaarr comes back.
Yeah. Make him copy and paste them. You're the scribe now. Get to work.
Yeah, listen, I'm doing all the work in like 3 of our campaigns, Scaarr. You can do some work.
I used to be that guy. I was like, you know what? I'll just write the campaigns. That's way less work. It's not.
Somehow it's less work.
Definitely not. Okay. So, we'll assume Tagar, Green tells you this, over lunch one day. You guys are in the cafeteria or whatever. Dubois runs into you at some point, Sergeant Schmidt. Since you guys are CBRN Marines, at least you guys have that in common. So, and she wasn't part of that basketball game, so she didn't really care about that, but the ones that were did. And, Rakesh is actually, he's a private, just like you are, Cruz. And obviously, you run into him and you see he's got a fucking metal arm, and you're like, bro, what happened? And,
yeah, I have like my fucking jaw strap.
Yeah, and
The guy's like, what happened, bro?
Yeah, he usually is kind of a loner. You guys know that Rakesh, you've heard at least rumors, you don't know if they're true, that he served prison time, or that he may be in the Marines to avoid prison time, which you've heard other Marines have had, but you don't know for sure with him. But he usually keeps to himself, he doesn't really have any friends, and he despises the sniper of the squad, who is the one guy above anyone else in the squad that he has to work with all the time, because he's the forward observer and the other guy's the marksman. So they hate each other, but they have to work together in order to make it work. So, yeah, and you can tell he is pissed about it. He's got a very Weaver attitude. Like, he is even more so because he's like, you can tell he's like, I didn't fucking sign up for this shit, and now I lose an arm. Like, I'd rather be sitting in a cell.
Yeah, listen, man. I got shot in the foot and then shot in the face. I'm having a real bad time, so I kind of understand what you're saying. And Cruz will do his best, just befriend him, play cards with him while he's recovering. Trade stories about weird shit they've seen.
Okay. Give me a manipulation roll at +1.
Okay, I'm not bad at that.
Oh, wait. He doesn't have any stress anymore. They didn't fix these character sheets, did they, when they left? Damn it, Phil.
I got 1 success. I'll push. There we go. 2 successes.
Okay. Yeah, you guys commiserate with each other due to your injuries in the field. And like, yeah, at one point, he's like, "Can you believe they fucking gave me a Purple Heart? Like that? Like that fucking fixes it?"
Yeah, no, yeah, I got shot in the foot. They gave me one. I had to stumble around while my team went out on other missions. They kept coming and like pitying me. I don't need that. Just fix me up and let me go back.
It's like, yeah, he's like, Kakai keeps saying, "Oh, you should be happy. At least you got your arm. I'd rather have the original one, not this hunk of garbage."
Yeah. Gotta admit, though, it does look pretty cool. Probably stick stuff in there and, like, you know, kind of like hide it, right?
He kind of looks at it. Oh, maybe.
Custom work with it. Have, like, a knife pop out.
It's like, yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Right?
Hidden shiv, maybe? Yeah.
Okay, let's not reference it as a shiv.
What else would you call it?
A combat knife. Because you don't want, like, a dinky shiv. You want an actual combat knife, right?
That's gonna
I know a couple
fit.
Wow. By yourself, maybe. But I know a couple people are good at mechanic shit. Come on. We're all in this together.
He looks at you for a moment, looks back down at the arm. All right. You're on.
All right, let's see what we can do with this.
All right. Well, you've definitely made an impression on him. He doesn't.
What is Rakesh's full name?
Hassan Rakesh.
Hassan. Okay, cool. I will add him.
Probably my favorite AI art so far. One of my favorites.
I think you should. Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah, he looks cool as fuck.
And his turban is his signature item, by the way.
Oh, that's okay.
Nice.
We'll get him like a combat knife and like a tiny scimitar.
A full scimitar.
If we could, that'd be cool. But I know we can't. But you know, maybe like a tiny scimitar.
Hey, that one guy in Destroyer Worlds has the fucking old antique sword. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So you just gotta find
We
one.
can do
That's the
anything.
problem.
Yeah. I'll talk to Johnson. He can get it.
Dude, I need a full sword. Okay, can you give me one of those?
I'm definitely gonna have to talk to the chief here to
Oh,
get a
that's
full
awesome.
sword pulled into our shit.
Tagar and Schmidt, do you guys discuss anything else with any of the squad? Either amongst yourselves or with the other members of second section?
Probably nothing specific.
You guys have probably about at least a week of downtime where you guys actually have leave, and it's not so much that the Tambatam needs repairs, but it's just all the logistics of getting refueled and more weapons and replacing the dropships you guys keep losing. I mean, if not, it's okay. I just want to make sure.
I'm gonna meet up with Sergeant Green actually. A little Sarge to Sarge action here.
All right, yeah, you catch him. We'll say he's shooting some hoops as he likes to do. I guess, yeah. Or maybe
Hey, Greg,
he's working on his camera. He's tweaking his camera that he's always carrying around. He's got this old Canon, actually has film, which you see him develop from time to time. He's like set up like a little dark room, like maybe in his locker or something. I don't know.
I didn't know we could be Comcam.
So yeah, you see him. He's like, "What's up, Schmidt?"
I want you to tell me a little bit more about this mission you were on previously. I heard you guys got into a little ruckus with some aliens, some creatures.
I've never seen anything like it, man. I'm just glad everybody got out, more or less in one piece. I feel bad for Rakesh, man.
You guys, by chance, figure any information out about something called the Dark Star program?
No, nothing like that. Why? What's that?
Well, as far as I'm aware, it's got some correlation with these alien-like creatures. They kind of explain a little bit about our mission back on.
He's like,
how we found out.
Does this thing look anything like that thing you guys saw in that lab?
Oh, definitely does.
It actually doesn't. It looks completely
I know
different.
that. I'm just.
Oh, okay. If that's what you're saying, that's fine. I just want to make sure you, as the player, know, since you're not an alien fanatic like the rest of us.
I'm just trying to get as much information out of him.
Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah. He's like, yeah, man, I've never seen anything like it. It moved so fast, and it was in the vacuum of space, and it did not slow this thing down. It didn't need to breathe. Dude, its fucking tail was like a goddamn sword. It cut right through his arm. We're lucky it didn't cut the cable. We'd all be floating in space right now.
Yeah, no kidding. All right.
Well,
hey, I mean,
I put a hurting on it, and Yazi, she pulled her weight too, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys ever hear anything about Dark Star program, definitely let me know. I'm trying to piece some things together regarding it. I heard you guys ran into some black goo mess of some of the guys exploding down there.
Yeah, well, we found this. There was this black stain on the outside of the ship. We didn't get a close look at it. We never even got to that side of the ship. We can only see it from the outside, and yeah, we thought about going in there with the drop ship, but the hole was right by the flight deck, and there was twisted metal and wreckage of some of the other drop ships in there. You know, the Nanshan was like more of a troop transport than an attack ship, so it had been modified. It had a front cryo bay that could hold over 1,000 Marines. So this thing was packing for like a ground invasion, and then they've also got the Sin Eater unit on board. And so the front flight deck was all fucked up, totally exposed to space. And I didn't think it was worth the risk of sending the dropship in there and us getting tangled up. So we stayed on the outside. We broke our way through one of the airlocks. And yeah, we found there was a ready room where the barracks was, and part of it, some shit went down. There were bodies everywhere, torn apart, and there was this black, like, fungus, like a mold or like a mushroom or some shit that was growing on the walls, on the floor, on the ceiling, on some of the bodies. And then, you know, we tried to save Wells. You know, I knew, like, I couldn't leave people behind, man, even if they looked fucked up. I thought, well, we'll get them in cryo real quick back on our ship and get it sorted out. Like, you know, we had people here that knew what happened, and seconds after we took him out, man, he started choking and coughing. There's this black shit coming out of his mouth, and, like, dude, he welled up like a
balloon.
Yeah, it was like a... You ever seen a body that's been waterlogged with water after being in the water for, like, weeks?
Oh, yeah, they just blow up and it soak up all the water.
But, dude, he's like, this happened in, like, seconds. And
it reminds me of the...
Exploded.
Yeah, it reminds me of my one of my first missions. You know, we had some weird-ass creatures that also had some... Not black mold, but it had some black goo. And it kind of similar thing happened, actually. They just blew up like balloons, exploded, while others transformed into some other creatures.
And he starts asking you about that. You guys start comparing notes. And it sounds like the same thing, which you guys are describing to each other. When he describes the way the Marines looked that were still in cryo, and he describes some of the other remains they found, some of them were definitely monsters. And they weren't the white aliens. They were wearing Marine uniforms and military uniforms. She's like, Are you saying like people like turned into these monsters?
Yeah. Just from any exposure to that black shit.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, other than what he was spitting up, everything was frozen on the ship. I mean, there was no power. So some of that could have been goo, I guess, but the stuff that Dubois tested up in the bridge was all blood, as far as we could tell. I mean, the whole place was coated. I didn't notice it at first, but yeah, it was. She took a couple samples and checked it out.
Wouldn't surprise me if it's the same shit.
It's like, but there were no bodies up in the bridge. It's just blood. And we found like a gun, like someone dropped a gun or something under one of the desks, but like that was it.
Oh, who knows? Maybe that, creature alien was eating them.
I don't know, man. We barely searched like a quarter of the ship before, we just went straight for the data and tried to get out of there, basically, is what it came down to. So, based on what we saw, I think it was the right call.
I don't blame you on that. In and out. Quick and easy. Well, quick, I should say, and not easy, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, man. It was not good.
But... Hey, if you have any further missions, that just seem off or have mention of this Dark Star program, let me know.
All right. Yeah, I'll keep an ear out for sure. Hey, you do the same, man. Stay safe out there. I heard some shit went down at that listening post.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Shafted us again. The upper's not letting us know what we're up against.
Well, I don't know what to tell you about that, but I'm glad you guys are okay.
All right, man. Well, I'll leave it to your camera work. Enjoy your antiques a little bit more. I'm gonna go enjoy my vacation.
All right, man. I'll catch you around.
All right.
He's like, oh, hey, did you hear we're actually going to get some comic relief in a day or two?
Oh, shoot me.
No, they got some big name comedian coming down to entertain the troops. Yeah, like the old No, dude. Did you hear? Did you hear what happened with O'Connell? He's like, dude, I don't know if he knows yet, so maybe he came on the DL. He's like, O'Connell's got to fucking babysit this guy when he's here. Yeah. You remember like in the old USO shows, like on the carriers and shit back in the day.
Yeah.
He's like, it's kind of like that. Like I don't know who it is. I don't really keep up with comedy, but yeah, man, O'Connell's gotta like bring him around and like give him a tour and shit.
Oh man, that just means more horrible dad jokes coming my way.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably get a kick out of it. Maybe that's why they picked him.
Probably, honestly.
Well, if he hears it, you didn't hear it from me.
No, you bet. I'll keep that to myself.
Yeah, we'll have to get a picture of that. Let me know when it starts happening. I'll make sure I can snap it. We'll get a few Polaroids to send back to him.
Tape it to his chambers.
You got it, man. You got it. All right. Eric, anything you want to talk to about it with anybody?
No. Nothing specific about the mission.
Okay.
I think for my time, like, I would make sure that I would, again, check in on everybody, and kind of be a little bit paranoid to make sure everybody's, like, still training and, kind of just, like overly check my own gear, make sure everything's in order, make sure that they're checking theirs.
Okay. Cruz and Schmidt, anything particular you do with that, or how do you react to that?
I would go to the sergeant and ask to train with him, because Cruz has now gone through two pretty rough situations with
you mean the corporal
critical wounds. No, Sergeant Schmidt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I got super swole on that last mission.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's okay. I just want to make sure.
So he's gone through some like pretty stressful situations, and he's seen that. I don't think I don't think Cruz has ever seen the sergeant ever panic. So he's gonna like, as much as it pains him, it's like, all right, listen, I'm still really new. You seem to have a good grounding of your emotions. Can you teach me how you do that? It's gotten fucking shot in the face now, been out for a while. It's super stressful. I don't like it. I know we don't get along. Originally I thought it was just because I was the new guy and you didn't like me. I don't know if that's still the case. But maybe we can bury the hatchet with this.
Wow.
We'll see. We'll see how you feel after a sergeant training camp here.
Okay.
To hell and back, make you come back a stronger man.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
And whenever I check on Weaver, I'm gonna make sure to give her a hard time because she was upset that I didn't check on her last time.
Okay, so, well, on the plus side, it seems like your squad is actually training and preparing, so you don't really have to ride them too hard because it seems like they're already doing that. When you check in on Weaver, and all of you notice this at some point, every time you see Weaver, she is training, she is working on her gear, she is working out, she's at the range. Like, it is like an obsession you guys start to notice, where it does not seem like she is doing anything other. She's doing everything except enjoying her leave. Every time you run into her. Every time you guys see her, she looks pissed. And when you check in on her one day, Tagar, she's let's see. She's at the range, and you see that she is working with one of the assault rifles. And at first, she probably doesn't hear you because she's got the things over her ears, and she's letting off like an entire clip. And then you can tell that she probably notices you, and she's kind of ignoring you. And
then I'm gonna drop an energy drink next to her because I've been drinking them nonstop. Because I have a problem.
Okay.
So just rippet cans everywhere.
She notices it, and then she finishes the clip that she's using, and then she looks down, and there's really no one else here except the sergeant or whoever like runs the range right now. She takes the thing off her head. She says, "What's this?" She kind of like picks it up.
A peace offering. You want someone to train with?
She looks a little confused, actually, like she wasn't expecting that.
Hey, we gotta stick together better than we have been. I've been riding everybody's ass since getting back. None of this shit is easy. But we shouldn't do it alone.
She says, okay. He's like, I'm not much of an energy drink girl, and she kind of slides it back to the side. But, olive branch accepted, I guess. And, she loads another clip. She takes over a few more shots. You can tell she's getting better. She says, look, if you're worried about me, Tagar, you don't have to be, alright? I am not going to be caught unprepared again. Whether it's UPP or WayU or whatever else the fuck is going on out there, if command's not going to tell us what the fuck's going on, then I'll just be ready for whatever they can fucking throw at us. She's like, I'm sick of people getting the drop on us. I'm sick of not having all the right info. I'm sick of going in under-equipped and unprepared. And it's not going to happen again.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. After you spoke out that day, I stayed back to have my own conversation with them.
She's like lining up the shots, like, oh yeah? And what'd they say?
nothing more. So, like I said, we gotta look out for each other. We're all we got.
She finishes off a few shots. And then she's kind of staring at the target for a minute. And then she puts the gun down. She looks over to you. And she kind of crosses her arms. She says, Tagar, look, you're in with the higher-ups to some regard. She's like, you've got to find out what the hell is going on here. You have to admit something is off. Something is not right here. What is this, 3-4 missions in a row now? Every time something else. First we got people turning into monsters spitting up black goo. Then we got aliens in cages, a secret base nobody knew about on a colonized world. And now we got a fucking Black Ops Commando squad coming up our ass. Either the LT is lying to us, or someone is lying to her, or the Corps has someone giving us false intel. And if it keeps up, one or more of us are not coming back. Or we're coming back in a fucking box.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Look, I'll do my best to get more info. This is my first mission on top. But I've been seeing everything, taking it in, and I'll do better next time.
She's like, you sounded like an apologetic puppy. Stop. I don't want to hear that. We don't need your best, Tagar. We need answers, all right? And like it or not, it's on your shoulders now that you're in charge, all right? I don't think the LT was wrong putting you in charge, okay? Sure as fuck better choice than Schmidt. But I mean, fuck, man. What is going on? I signed up to fucking fly ships and blow shit up occasionally. Not fucking fight monsters and, all this underhanded espionage bullshit. Fuck, if I wanted to be a spy, I would have fucking joined the MSS or some shit. Jeez.
Alright, I hear you.
And she's just kind of staring at the target right now, kind of like with like a little bit of like a forlorn look in her eyes, kind of that 1,000-yard stare.
Look, I get info, I'll let you know, but you gotta do the same for me. I've already had a conversation with Schmidt not to be pulling any secret bullshit anymore. Hopefully that gives us some answers, whatever he's trying to pull.
You trust him? Come on.
No. They bumped him down for a reason.
Yeah, well, riddle me this then, Tagar. Why the fuck is he still a sergeant? I heard through the grapevine that the LT put in for a demotion on him. Yet he still outranks you and you're in charge. Isn't that a little weird?
Yeah. A little fucked up.
She's like, look,
That sounds like little LT's maybe not in charge of what's going on around here.
Yeah, I was going to say that I've been around the lieutenant for a while, all right? And, look, she might be a CO, but I've never known her to be one to, turn her back on her men. And, word of advice, you guys never ask any questions when we leave for a mission. She doesn't give info unless you ask. I've seen it with multiple squads. That's just how she operates. She wants you to put your big boy pants on and figure it out yourself. But for fuck's sakes, man, it wouldn't hurt once in a while to be like, hey, what's up with the planet we're going to? Or can you tell me more about the colony we're going to go, I don't know, undercover on? You know? Like, and if not her, then fucking ask the robot. Roy is a wealth of information, and she's always leaning on him. So, look, I get it, all right? I don't want anybody else to fucking die. I don't want to lose another ship, all right?
Yeah. I don't need any more lost teeth.
She does laugh at that. I feel bad for that rookie, man. He's getting the raw end of it. Guess he's still got his arm, at least.
That's true.
You guys suck.
Get a mouth guard for the next mission. All right, I hear ya. We'll do this better.
And as she turns back and loads up another clip, she tosses you the energy drink back, and then when she goes back, without looking at you, but like over her shoulder, she's like, "You still owe me that drink, by the way."
All right. We'll get it done.
All right. So we'll start a few of our downtime events here to finish up the night.
Can I ask a brief question?
Yeah, of course you can.
Wonderful. Are we on like a planet with like a bowling alley?
It's a military base. There's nothing else on this planet. Eric, is there any military base on Earth that has a bowling alley in it?
There is.
Okay.
The one I was just stationed at had a bowling
No
alley.
shit!
Yes, it did.
Wow. So, Cruz, while there's
one
still
here in
some
Texas.
actual
I
downtime,
I gotta use the bathroom, but keep talking. I got my
Okay.
headphones on, so and discuss amongst yourselves. But okay, yeah, there's a bowling alley.
There's fast food. There's Taco Bells, Domino's.
amazing. So, Cruz, noticing all
Movie
this very
theaters.
uncomfortable tension, but not knowing you guys were making fun of him with his shattered teeth, would go to Herschel and like give him a bunch of like letters, like, all right, you need to invite everybody from our section to go to a bowling tournament. Even Weaver, I understand she does not want to go. She has to go. Johnson, all those stupid motherfuckers, we all gotta just get this tension out. And bowling's a pastime in my family. We're gonna go bowling. And we're gonna get drunk as shit at this bowling alley. And we'll probably mess up the bowling alley, but they'll understand because it's on a base, so they have insurance for this. It's okay.
They know it's coming.
Exactly, yeah. So we're
Just
just gonna have a
remember,
nice.
you get drunk as shit. 6 a.m. Your ass is up and getting worked on. All right.
Yeah.
Training starts 6 a.m.
Praying? Ugh. Couldn't do it. But bowling I can do until 5:30.
Yeah, praying. What kind of military outfit is this? Is this the fucking chaplain's section?
Is this 40K where I have to go to the chaplain? Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go to the
Talk
fucking
about my sins.
the sanctorious sector.
Yeah. Sanctorium.
So Herschel is like, Private, I think that is a great idea. I would be happy
I knew you
to help
would,
her.
Herschel.
And I will convince Weaver to join us. She's just... He looks and he says, Jennifer... And you notice he says her first name. He says, Jennifer has been very focused on things after the last mission. She's like obsessed with making sure she's prepared and ready. You know, like, I've never seen her like this before.
Well, we got fucked. In a non-clinical sense, we were surprised in a way we didn't expect, right? I didn't feel like my second mission back, I would lose all of my teeth in the front. But it happens. So, we're, trying to cheer everyone up for our next mission when we're all super stressed.
I've been wondering, is there anything that I can do to prepare for these missions? I mean, my programming only allows me to specialize in what I've been built for, but I am able to learn and adapt. Is there something that would be beneficial for the squad for me to get better at or research?
Maybe ask questions that, seem common sense, but we don't ask. I'm really new to this, only a private, so I just kind of trust my superiors, but it seems like every time we go out on a mission, something crazy happens, and so more knowledge is always better, right? I think that was Socrates or Sun Tzu or something.
He corrects you and tells you what the correct philosopher is, whoever it
yeah,
is.
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, sure. I knew that, of course. I was testing you. I wanted to make sure your databases were up to date.
Nietzsche's, I believe, or Nietzsche was
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche, I believe, was that particular quote.
Okay,
I
cool.
shall try that. I cannot make any promises that may conflict with some of my programming, but perhaps I can give suggestions for questions that should be asked.
Yeah, I'm. No reason we can't ask questions after the briefing, right? As long as we aren't shipped out. I think. But so far, you've done a great job and helped me survive in dangerous situations. So I'll clap him on the shoulder. I greatly appreciate your presence here.
Well, it is one of my primary directives, and I will continue to do so. I do quite enjoy the company of you and the squad.
Wonderful. I'm gonna go practice my my bowling technique so I can win this tournament, because that's generally why I suggested bowling, is so I can win the bets.
Is this like the episode of Parks and Recreation where he watches the guy doing the underhand roll and he keeps getting strikes, and then Ron does it, he rolls a perfect game, and the guy's like, "Oh, you got a perfect game, let me put your name on the list," and he gives him a 20. He's like, "I was never here and you never saw me."
Never put my name on that list with how I bowl.
He's like, "Oh yeah, take lane 2." He's like, "I want the lane at the end." And he's got sunglasses and a baseball cap on the whole time.
He's just like, I can't accept that this worked, but I have to test it out.
He's like, son of a bitch.
That was a great episode.
Oh, man. Fucking awesome. Okay. Bowling, I like it. Okay. Well, you guys each get an invitation, as does the rest of first section, to a bowling tournament, which most of the rest of the section is cool with. Weaver's probably the one that takes the most convincing, but
I'll go there on like crutches.
She sees that, she's like, "It was your teeth that was fucked up, Cruz, and your foot was last time, remember?"
And he opens his mouth and he's got a mouth guard.
And she does actually get a chuckle though when you show up. She's like, "First Tagar with the puppy dog look, and now this."
Now we got Toothless.
Fuck you, bro.
She's like, "All right, I'll come to your stupid tournament, but look, special bet to you, all right?"
Oh shit, no. Okay.
Oh, refresh my memory out of game. Was it you or Broderick that was getting her the speakers?
Broderick was getting the speakers. She was training Cruz in how to fly a ship.
Okay. All right. He says, "All right, here's my bet to you, newbie.
Okay.
If you win, if you beat me, just a personal challenge between you and I. Don't remember what the other guys do.
Sure.
If you beat me, I will give you an extra lesson every week for the next month."
Okay. I like that.
She's like, but
I
if
roll high or low if you lose.
yeah, there's no skill checks involved. She's like, but if I win, she's like, you are cleaning the dropship for the next month.
I think that's fair.
And I'm not talking any cleaning. Herschel's gonna show you the inside and out of that fucking thing. So if anything happens to him, you know how to get it running again.
Sounds good.
So either flying lessons from me or maintenance lessons from him.
So either way, I'm putting in work on this bet, just to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Listen. That's fine. As long as you come and you bowl your heart out.
I will attend.
Okay. Well, so you know, my family bowls quite a lot. Kind of a pastime. Uncle Domingo taught me a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, he did.
So tell me, does Secretary LaCruz, is she pretty good on the lanes, too?
I've never beat her before, so...
Huh.
Based on how this next game's gonna go, you might find out. But you have to attend, right?
I will be there, I promise.
Wonderful. He'll hobble away, making sure he can...
Lose the crutches!
I bought them! I need to use them. I only have a few credits a month now.
She's like, Uncle Sam bought those, I know it. Alright, so we get to our downtime events, which I've rolled. Some of these are pretty straightforward, and some of them are a little more in-depth. So, we will do Sergeant. Yours is very straightforward, and it won't really affect you until closer to the mission. But I rolled that the Marine is exposed to some minor sickness, such as the flu or the common cold. Roll a stamina test versus a disease with virulence 3. If you fail, you're not well during the next mission, and we have to roll dice to see what happens.
You're gonna miss the bowling tournament.
Swear to God, you'd better not.
No, this is you're gonna get the disease from the fucking bowling shoes at the bowling alley just before your mission.
It's like a fungal infection.
Black
yeah.
fungus.
What's this
The
black
goo.
Yeah, what's this black mushroom in this shoe? That's weird.
Secretly, my agenda is I have to infect everyone with the black fungus. I'm just dripping it into your shoes.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
So you should roll a stamina check?
Yeah. And so the disease has a virulence rating,
Fuck me.
which is how many dice it rolls. Okay, so you have no successes. Would you like to push?
Yeah, why not? I mean, we're in downtime. I can get that back. Well, fuck.
Oh my God.
0 successes twice around, folks. Okay.
Easy.
Roll me a d6. Okay. I would say the higher results on this are bad, but they're mostly equal. A 1 is during the next mission, you will be at -1 strength.
Fuck.
So that's not until we get to the next mission, so until then you're fine. But by the time you get to the mission, you're not feeling great.
Does that affect his max HP?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so we need to protect you a little bit this time, Schmidt. You know, you can rely on some of your homies.
Actually, no, wait. I'm sorry, it doesn't, because there's another result on this that affects your health. So,
Okay.
No.
Nice. Cool.
Easy, good.
So basically, your strength is -1, which means all your strength-based skills will also be at -1.
All right.
Those are only 3 skills. It's not that bad.
Got that COVID, you know.
Well, this is one of the homebrew ones I came up with. So 1 through 4 is -1 to one of your 4 attributes.
Okay.
A 5 is you get +1 stress that can't be reduced in any way until the mission's over. And then 6 is -1 health that can't be healed in any way until the mission is over.
Oh, that's real rough.
So, yeah, for all those health 2 Marines out there, you don't want to get that one.
I literally can't take any damage.
Yep. Well, someone punched me. Injury.
Trip and fall and go into a critical injury.
Yep.
Pass out.
We call this Warhammer difficulty. Falling damage is lethal.
What's that meme called? The oh man, the emotional damage guy.
Oh yeah.
Emotional damage.
What's his name? Henry Wu, I think.
I think so.
Something like that, yeah.
Or Cho,
but they
is
had
it Cho, I think.
They had that game. No, was it difficulty level Asian?
Yeah, that guy is so funny, especially when he does the impersonation of an Asian parent. Your brother Timmy, he had business at 4 years old. Here we go with Timmy again, Dad.
Oh.
I will send you to Jesus.
With the fucking shoe all the time. Oh,
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that guy's hilarious.
So
I
funny.
fucking love him.
All right. O'Connell, as we know, has been assigned to be the guide for this this person. So it's some sort of VIP, such as a celebrity, movie star, comedian, or model, pays a visit to the ship or the base. The Marine is assigned to be their tour guide and cater to their every need. So we'll see what happens when he has to deal with that. Cruz.
Okay.
I rolled... where is it? The Marine is involved in a stupid, harmless prank or dare with several members of the platoon against one of their COs.
I feel like the bowling tournament might work out.
They must pass an opposed test against the Marines. Whoever rolls the least number of successes is caught and probably punished.
Ooh.
So, you are actually approached by Boomhauser and Yazi,
Okay.
who you can tell, like, they're kind of friends, and they like have a dare going on, and they're like, hey, newbie, come here, and Boomhauser is like, and then as they're talking, you didn't see her at first, but you notice as you round the corner, Halifax is there too, the chick that despises you.
Yeah, great.
And like her smile instantly turns to like a sour puss when she sees you. And Boomhauer's like newbie, all right, look, he's like, we got a dare going on here. You want in?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
All right, that's the spirit. He's not that bad, Halifax. I don't know what the problem is. All right, anyway, look. All right. Here's the thing. We're each gonna take turns. We're gonna try to sneak into Casato's office and rearrange something, and see if she notices. All right. So, like, fucking, I don't know, put the chair up on the desk or whatever you want to do, right? But something, they don't like break anything, but just fuck with her a little bit, right? And he's like, we're gonna do that right now. And he's pretty pumped about it. Yazi thinks it's funny too. And as they're like kind of getting ready to leave and walk down the hallway, Halifax is standing there with her arms crossed and she's staring at you. And she's like, I got a better one, newbie. And you hear like Boomhauser and Yazi kind of stop, and she's like, how about you steal something out of the LT's office?
Well, that doesn't seem as much like a prank as it is trying to cause issues, right?
Well, if she doesn't know who took it, what's the problem? And you can feel she's like trying to egg you on. It's obvious she's like, oh,
Yeah.
Are you scared?
Yeah, I don't want to cause issues for my LT. She's doing the job same as us, right? How'd you feel if I stole something from your place and you didn't know it was me? You're pretty pissed. I know, obviously you don't like me. I don't know why.
You see,
Supposed to be just a harmless prank.
Boomhauser's like this behind you, like don't bring it up, like you're pushing the wrong buttons. And you see Yazi's got like a grin on her face, like she's like, it's like the Michael Jackson meme where he's eating the popcorn. She's like waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
She's like, you're right, Cruz. I don't like you. I don't like the fact that you think you can handle this job better than some of us, which clearly you can't after your multiple rounds to the med bay. I don't like the fact that you think you can just kind of do as you please just because you happen to be related to the secretary.
All right. Don't really know where that came from, but I mean, if you want to go a couple rounds and get some anger out, I'm good to go to, spar somewhere. We'll let them.
She looks over at Boomhauser and she's like, "Get this fucking kid." She's like, "All right, fuck the dare. Yeah, I'll see you in the ring."
Okay.
And Boomhauser is like, "Dude, it's about to go down." And
all right.
he's like,
I'm gonna pull Boomhauser to the side.
Yeah.
We're gonna start a bet, right?
Dude, yeah, against you.
I'm betting on myself. What kind of fucking motherfucker doesn't bet on himself?
He's like, "Kid, you've got some brass cojones, man, but you are gonna get your ass whipped."
Yeah, I bet. But I'm obviously betting on myself. That's you. If you don't, you're a bitch. So obviously I'm putting money on myself.
Well, yeah, but prepare to lose it.
Yeah, of course. I understand that.
Yazi's like, "You must have some sort of death wish, man."
No, I'm just tired of her, eyeing me every time I walk down the hallway. I'd rather she just be happy that she beat the shit out of me than this shit.
Okay. Oh, boy. Wow. Fuck the bowling tournament. This is going to be even better.
Sounds like Cruz wants to get more teeth knocked out.
Yep.
Oh, not.
You better protect those hands.
All right.
Yeah, they're insured technically, but that's okay.
So we'll obviously get to that next week.
Yeah.
And we'll finish up tonight with Tagar. Roy, the synthetic, comes and finds you. He says, "Corporal, I've been looking all over for you. You have a priority message in the relay room."
Oh. Alright. Lead the way.
Yeah, you would know where it is, or he can show you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's where
I
you
don't
go
need to be escorted.
No, you take personal
Yeah,
messages
okay.
there. So,
Alright.
yeah, so it's one of the rooms where you get a recording or a video call or something like that, or a holo call, and you can see it. It's a video message. It's not like an actual call. Those are kind of expensive. But it's a video message, and you can see it is from your brother Logan.
Okay. I'll listen to the message.
Yeah, so it's a video message, so it's him on a Skype call leaving a
Or
message.
watch.
Yeah, just like what we saw with O'Connell and his wife a couple sessions ago. So you see your brother. What's your brother look like? Is he is it obvious he's your brother? Do you guys look completely alike, completely different?
It's pretty obvious we're brothers. Other than you could tell I've been training a lot, and I think he's younger, so he still kind of look, early. How old am I? Hold on. So he's early 20s. So you could just tell he's a younger me, but maybe not as dope.
Okay. So you see him, and he's you can tell he kind of sniffs, and you can see his eyes are puffy and red. His nose is kind of red. He's like, "Hey, Mike, man, I don't know how to say this, but," and he starts to get really emotional. He's kind of choking up on his words. It's Yeah, man, Dad didn't make it through the surgery. He had a... Doctor said he had some sort of blood clot. And, yeah, he fucking died right there on the table. He's gone, man. Fuck. And he's just kind of at a loss for words for a minute. You know, he's trying to figure out what to say. He's crying. He's sniffling. Anyway, you know, Mom's pretty banged up about it, and everybody is, man. But, you know, I wanted to be the one to tell you. You know, Cuz said she could get me into you real quick, at least a message. So, yeah, sorry to put a damper on the whole promotion. You know, she told us about that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking cousin. Wrong family. He's like, yeah, man, I don't know. I just wanted to tell you. I hope you're safe. And, yeah, right back soon, man. Call. Mom needs to hear your voice. It's not good. And, yeah, he doesn't really have much else to say, and eventually the message is done. Clicks off.
Okay.
And on that somber note, that is where we will call it for tonight's session. We'll be back next week, listeners. By the time you hear this, we should finally be doing some live streams of our show. So that should be very exciting. Scaarr will be back next week as well, hopefully, unless his sister-in-law has another surprise birthday party nobody knew about. And, yeah. So, thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you, same time, same place. Signing off.